Now we play the waiting game.
The waiting game.
It's just polishing up the brass bottom so I can just tease with the tip on the stream. The mail call.
Just teasing with the tip.
Just a tip. Just a little tip.
Just a tip.
It's gonna be great.
Just tickling them.
Yeah. Yeah. Courtesy reach around. About time, says Geo. Yeah, we were only 6 minutes early today instead of our usual 8 to 10. Our apologies.
What can I say? I needed a coffee.
Yeah. Hashtag blame Jay. Hashtag Brexit. Is that hitting a little too hard right now, Jay?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Starston and Loot Helios, hello to you as well. Dola saying, my hair is gone. Yeah, I just got back from the barber about an hour or two ago. Decided I should clean up just a little bit, look a little bit more presentable for not only today, but the much hyped build stream tomorrow. Corbin says, I'm looking good. Thanks, man. I try to look
always look good, Brian.
Aw. Don't be so wholesome, Jay. You're supposed to be mean.
I can't be mean to you. I can't be mean to you. Big shout out to Fizkey and Corbin Dallas for their subs. Fizkey with 20-month streak. Thank you very much for that, dude. And Corbin Dallas, 20 months as well. Well done. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, these guys are pretty OG.
Like Assassin saying, should just go ahead and give me the captain. No, it's mine, dude. Sorry, it's mine.
Should I... Oh, this is so heavy, man. Should I... It's like really hard to hold just because of how heavy it is. Just tease.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? As heavy as it is, it's still only half the weight of the brass board I built last week on stream, which is really terrifying, actually.
Yeah,
is that just the tip? Is that how you tickle us with the tip?
Just give me a little tip. I'm trying to catch the lighting a little bit better so you can see the PVD. I'm trying to angle my lights. I don't want to like fully show it because I want to leave a little bit of hype for the stream tomorrow.
Yeah, you shouldn't show it. Yeah, don't show it off too much.
Sorry, guys. Jay has spoken.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, it's got to be on stream, right? It has to be properly done on stream.
Yep.
You just ruin the whole build up on tomorrow's stream if you do it now. So,
yeah, easy 0 viewer stream now. Nobody will win the giveaway because there won't be a single person in chat.
Yeah. No one will just bother going. Yeah.
Feels bad, man. Looking very sharp, Quakums. Thank you so much, Luke Helios. Sometimes I try to look a little bit presentable. Just teasing, guys. Sorry. You guys gotta live with the tease. You'll see it tomorrow on stream in all of its glory. And
absolutely.
Yeah, my webcam doesn't do it justice, alright?
You need that proper camera in place. What is that butt emote? I've not seen that before.
Looks like hey, I Mr. 3 Booty. What? I don't think I'm young and hip enough to get this reference.
No, I don't get it either. But Luna Sama, 13 months worth of subs. Thank you very much. We genuinely appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That synchronized sip was amazing. It was pure chance, dude. Pure chance.
I didn't even realize we did it.
I saw it because I see it on delay, but
yeah,
I did see it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never actually have the stream up, like watching it on Twitch. I just use the OBS preview, which is in real time.
Whereas I have to, because you've got the OBS stream.
Yes.
I have to. And
people
just try and make sure that I see it about 10 seconds later and work around that.
A lot of people don't understand how actually difficult it is to run a stream like this when you're there's two people halfway around the world from each other trying to host the same thing. It's more difficult than it seems.
Yeah. At least you've not fallen into the keeping people muted trap.
Well, I like to do it every now and then just for fun. Aslijo subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for that. As well as Factory of Idols subscribing for 4 months in a row with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, guys.
And Mountain Blocks there with the 1,100 bits saying, good evening, my dudes. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much for those bits. We appreciate those.
Yes, thank you very much.
See that bit jar filling up nicely now.
Oof. I like when my bit jar gets filled up.
Do you like filling those jars? Does it take more than just a tip to fill your jar?
No, it does not.
Fair enough.
If there's anything in the jar, I'm pretty happy about it. We're doing well if there's anything at all in there. I feel like.
Fair.
Swag Manerer is asking, will we talk about Mizu today? No, it is not on our news doc. Mizu is something we've talked about in Interest Check a long time ago, and we talked about the group buy when it went live, which was the week before last. I think it was the end of April, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've already covered it a couple times. No need to cover it more. It's a cool set. I like it. I bought it day one, so that's how I feel about it.
It wasn't day one, but I bought it as well. Lubed Helios said, why not do a Discord call and share screens? Because that's fraught with technical difficulties. Because Brian and I are based in different countries, we're on different Discord servers, and that means that the video quality isn't always as clear as the audio quality. So we don't use that solution. We use a different solution.
Discord video has a lot of issues. It's tough, man. It's tough because if an app doesn't natively work with OBS, which is the streaming software we use, it's really difficult because this just doesn't detect Discord. I'd have to actually crop full screens down. Requires way more time, way more effort. There's even more compression, and like Jay mentioned, sometimes the audio and video aren't properly synced just because it tries to run from like specific servers. So
yeah, it's difficult.
It's so much harder than it needs to be.
Just catching up with some subs here. So Jay Shuff has gifted a tier 1 sub to Teori. Well done, Teori. Teori actually won won the opportunity to buy the last set of Modern Dolch from Dixie the other day. So congratulations.
Nice.
And Jay Shuff also subscribed for 7 months as well himself. Aslager has converted from a Twitch Prime sub to a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much.
Interesting. Very nice. Thank you.
There's some more that I've missed as well. Oh, Swag Manerera has subscribed at tier 1. Thank you, dude. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, and Melodet as well. Subscribed for 14 months on a 14-month streak. Thank you very much, Melodet. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Slippery Pete is asking, are we going to talk about GMK Smile? I don't know if that was on the news doc or not.
It's not on our news doc, no. But that being said, there's been so many sets that we may have missed some like we did last week. There's just too many for us to make sure we've got everything.
Yeah. GMK, it's hard to talk about GMK sets right now because everyone and their mom is running an interest check. Mountain Block's asking if we're going to cover the Dolch t-shirt group. I do believe that is on our news doc.
It is, yeah, it is Mountain Blocks, and I did notice it was your name as well. We've got your name next to it in the list, so we will be covering that towards the end of the show. Asla Joe says it's 3 a.m. here in Norway. Just wondered if you could start putting up timestamps on your YouTube videos. I've been a long time YouTube watcher, but not often enough at the time. I too am in the EU. It's an hour earlier for me because it's 2 a.m. here, but not 3 a.m. Luna Sama, who does watch the show and is in chat today, sometimes puts them up. Timestamps up for us.
Yeah. He's very consistent. If you look through the YouTube comments from like any main Top Clack episode for the last, I don't know, several months, there are timestamps in there. It just usually takes a little bit to actually post them all. Yeah. So like if you watch the VOD as soon as it goes up, you're not going to get them. It's kind of difficult to do, but we do have someone kind of unofficially doing it, but he helps us out because it's very helpful. Because we do like that as well, but we just don't always have time for it because it's really hard to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, the thing is, we post a video onto YouTube, and then it takes a while before it's actually live on YouTube, and by that time I'm asleep, and then Brian's busy with his evening, and by the time it's actually up there, Brian's asleep, and then I've woken up and I've forgotten all about it because I slept, so it's difficult for us to fit it in.
So many people commenting on the way I look today.
Yeah, because you look good, dude. That's why.
Thank you. I turned on my lights that I use for build stream. I actually turned those on today. I don't usually stream with those on during the show, so maybe my camera looks a little bit crisper than normal because I'm getting a little bit better lighting.
Nice.
Swag Mirror asking if we're going to talk about the T1 today. Should we do an update on that situation, or at least kind of like what we do publicly?
Yeah,
now?
let's. We should cover that when we get to announcements. We'll just cover what we know is public, and I'll add it to the document, and I'm happy to give an update on that.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, but looks like the bot actually finally pinged the Discord, so I'm gonna roll a bit of an intro, and we're gonna get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of Top Clack. It is May 9th, 2019. I am your host Quakums. I am here with my co-host, the lovely Jay, as you can see on screen right now, and we do have a great show for you in store as usual. We have a very healthy news doc. We got a couple announcements, some things to talk about, and we will round out the show with a Q&A at the end like we always do. So if you guys do have questions, make sure you save that till the end. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Well rested after a few days at the spa this week with the wife. So feeling good. Nice, relaxed, refreshed, and no work until Monday, so that's great for me.
Awesome. I am doing pretty well myself. Just got back from the barber, as a lot of you can tell. I've had 13 or 14 comments in the chat already about it. So
you can see that nice fresh look going on up top. It looks good.
Yeah, everything for you guys, man. It's all for you. Novelties subscribing at tier 1. Thank you so much, Mike. I'm assuming that's going to be Mike.
I assume it must be.
It could be what's his name? Corey? I think it's the other guy. Maybe. But I'm going to assume it's Mike for the sake of this. So thank you very much for that, as well as Muzola subscribed at tier 1. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that.
No, appreciate that. Oh wow! Novelkeys just gifted 20 tier 1 subs to Top Clack's community. Wow, thank you, Mike. We really appreciate it, dude. That's lots of subs going out. Wow,
20 tier 1 subs donated from Novelkeys. What a guy.
Mike, thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. You are a scholar and a gentleman.
Absolutely. Pooch Stag as well with the Twitch Prime subscription for 10 months now. Thank you very much, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. A lot of subs already today. I wonder.
Yeah.
Is it that time of the month?
Of them. It must be. It must be rollover week of the month. But guys, if Mike just gifted you a sub, guys, shout out and give him thanks, because that is amazing. 20 gift subs in one is really cool. Thank you, dude.
Heck yeah. All right, let's start off with a little bit of a mail call, as we typically and traditionally do.
Sure.
And this is one of those really odd weeks where I actually have more things than you on the mail call. This almost never happens, guys. This is pretty legendary. So I'm gonna let Jay start us off.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, first thing I got loads of carbon fiber plates in different variations and colours. So I've got ones with different weave patterns on and things like that. I think I got 36 plates this week. So that's lots of rebuilding.
36?
New building stuff. Yep. I also picked up a few different key sets as well. I got another set of Sky Dolch because I love the set. I also got another set of GMK Royal Alpha, but this one came with the white mods. Hold on, one side open here. So GMK Royal Alpha. If you guys don't know, it's a nice green set with sub-legends and all that kind of good stuff. I also finally got in terms of key sets, got another set of Olivia as well through the post this week. So another GMK Olivia.
A sealed set, even.
It was sealed when it came. Yeah, it was brand new sealed. The guy sold it to me for group buy price, which was really, really nice. So that was amazing. Just shout out as well, Geo with 5 tier 1 gift subs as well. Thank you very much, dude.
Thank you.
And Pona with the 21 streak.
You guys are all awesome.
Yeah, I got that as well. As well as that, I did get 2 boards. They are sat behind me, so you can see that there is the Anzi, which came this week. I haven't unboxed it yet. That's going to be unboxed on my stream on Sunday. I've been told by Max from Cable Car Designs, who designed and produced the board, that there's a very special unboxing experience to go through, so I'm going to do that on Sunday on stream. And I also did get an LZGH as well, which I've misplaced. I can't remember where I put it now. I did have it to hand, but I've put it down. So I don't know where I put it. But yeah, I do have an LZGH as well. And as well as that, the final thing I got this week is the bottom row on my Kipura cluster. So all of these ones along the bottom row, they came in this week as well. So some nice artisans too. So there we go. Only 8 items.
Well, that's a cute roundup of things. But let me talk about some of the things that I got. I'm gonna save some of the more intense stuff for last. But a lot of you have been wondering where Holy Panda production samples have been, and I quite literally just received them today. They sent me 30, which I thought was a very odd amount of switches to send me, because it's not really enough for any full board, and it's more than I need to test like 5 single switches. But regardless, I got the official mass drop Holy Pandas in today. These are the production units, that's what I'm told. And I was kind of feeling around with them, and to really no one's surprise here, they feel like Holy Pandas. So it looks like if that was something that you were waiting for and you weren't sure if they were actually going to turn out well or not, to me, they feel like a Holy Panda, guys. So little quick update on that for any of you that actually care. Also, some of you might remember, I don't know, it was probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 months ago now. We had a stream where we had I forgot the gentleman's username, and I apologize for that. But he's the runner of the Georgie, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Oh yes,
which is this cute little stenography style board here. If you guys aren't familiar, steno is a very different means of typing. You type in what are known as chords instead of singular letters and numbers and stuff. So as far as I'm aware, you type like sounds or like syllables, basically, more or less.
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
And this is
pretty much it.
Yeah, the whole benefit to this is you can achieve words per minute well beyond 200-300 words. So I did say on that stream that if he did send me one, I would try to learn steno. And that's apparently going to happen now, since this actually did arrive just the other day. So I'm a man that's true to my word, so I'm going to be trying to learn steno. I'll probably stream it or do like a video series on it or something like that, just so people can, see how embarrassed I am and how laughably comical it's going to be me trying to learn steno. People go to school to learn steno. That's what people do. Usually it takes a couple years to even get, relatively proficient at it. So, obviously, don't expect a lot from you guys, but I know some of you have been asking where that is, and there you go. I'm going to try to learn steno in the near future. I also picked up it was completely sealed, set of GMK Modern Dolch. Got that for group buy pricing from a buddy. That was very kind of him.
Nice.
And I got a few lube switches. Some of you might know I've been outsourcing my lubing services for both my own switches and sometimes for other people if necessary. Well, I refer them. Obviously, I don't tell them I'm going to do it and then send them away. But I've been doing that lately because I just don't really have time to lube, and a lot of people are kind of moving towards that now. But there are a lot of people still offering lube services, so. These were done by Straight Classy of the Top Clack Discord. He's in there quite often. Very nice guy. I sent him 5 or 6 batches of switches, and he just got me the first 2 backs, some creams, these are creams, and then some inks. So I'm going to be putting those to work tomorrow on stream.
Why is that, Brian? What's going to be on stream tomorrow with those switches?
Yeah, so if you guys may have been living under a rock, I am doing a build stream tomorrow of the Kepler, which is that really epic high-end TKL that's an interest check right now, as well as the Sirius, which is a much more affordable 60% that features Palm as the main material of choice. So I actually do have the Sirius right here. This is the Sirius prototype. This is all Palm. This version, I think he sent me a Palm and a carbon fiber plate. So I got both of those going on. There, you can't really see it because there's actually some special cut shelf liner there for this board, but there is a brass weight in there as well. So pretty nice looking board so far. I'll be building this on stream tomorrow and talking a little bit more about it, as well as if I can freaking pick it up. I'm not going to show this entirely, but I'm gonna show you just a little bit of a tip here.
The tip.
So this This is a little edge of the Kepler TKL, ridiculously heavy. It's almost obnoxious to pick up, due to how heavy it is. So, if you guys have been looking forward to checking out those two boards, I will be building both of them on stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and there will be giveaways. Project Keyboard has told me that I can give away a completely free, no strings attached Kepler group buy spot, which is ridiculous, as well as
awesome.
2 free, no strings attached group buy spots to the Sirius 60%. So 3 total group buy boards given away. Not only that, you get to choose your entire configuration of that board. So really, really epic giveaway from Project Keyboards. So shout out to 159 for really giving us a hookup here and allowing us to do this, because this is probably the most insane stuff we've given away on Top Clack ever.
Yeah, it probably is the biggest giveaway in terms of value. Yeah. In
terms of monetary value, this is definitely one of the bigger giveaways we've had. So really, really looking forward to this. You guys be there, and be square or round, whatever you want to be. But look forward to that, because it's going to be freaking insane.
I'm really interested to see what you think of that mounting style in the Kepler, Brian. I'm really, really interested to see what your thoughts are on that, because it's just so unique and so different. And I just want to see what you think to it. Yeah.
I'll definitely have my thoughts. I'll be showing it off and building it, doing some typing tests as well. I'm really curious about the sound. It's gonna be really, really cool.
Nice.
So yeah, that was my mail the last few days. AZ Walker Stop subbing with Twitch Prime, 12 months. Thank you very much, sir. He asks, can I have a Kepler as my anniversary gift? I wish I could say yes, but if you want it, you'll have to hopefully get RNG'd tomorrow.
Yeah, or buy one.
or buy one.
You can also do that.
Yeah.
Or you won't be able to tomorrow. And Talisman Solutions with the customary 1,111 bits. Thank you very much.
Heck yes. Alright, so let's move on to the announcements, guys. Obviously, we're still making sure we're shilling our 24-hour stream, which does still not have an official date, but we're still trying to push that hard. Jay and I are honestly struggling to find time to finish structuring it, but that will hopefully be soon. I think it might be kind of a miracle at this point to do it by the end of the month, but it's definitely still a possibility. But it's starting to look a little bit more towards the start to middle of June. A lot of work to do on it, guys. It's going to be a very elaborate stream, honestly. So
there's a lot of logistical kind of work that we have to do to get it to work right as well. So we have to work out what days are best and kind of how the timings are going to work and who's going to be on when and how we chase people down and all of that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of logistical stuff that we need to do in the background as well. But we are working on it. We do have a raft of stuff that we want to put into that 24-hour stream, and it does mean a lot to us to be able to do it. So watch this space, and as soon as we've got a date, we'll tell you guys.
Yep, and just like I was talking about, tomorrow, Kepler giveaway, 2x Sirius giveaway. It's going to be ridiculous. 5 p.m. Pacific time is the start time. The giveaways themselves don't necessarily have a specific time, but I am planning to do the Kepler giveaway after I've finished building the Kepler, and I will do the Sirius giveaways after I'm done building the Sirius. I ballpark the stream will take about 4 hours, but don't quote me on that, because that's just the way streams go. So,
at least you're not lubing the stream this time.
Yeah, I'm not going to be lubing switches or anything, so they should be relatively straightforward builds. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you are, you will have to be there live to benefit from the giveaway. We don't usually do this. It's pretty rare that we do live giveaways. So I do want to say that we're sorry for the people that aren't going to be able to make it. We sometimes try to match time zones, but it's really, really tough to do a live giveaway at a specific time and have it work for everyone. It's actually just impossible. So we only kind of do what we can. Most of our giveaways tend to be, a week long, and anyone can enter them, regardless of where you are. But this, unfortunately, is not one of them. This is going to be a live giveaway, guys, and you will have to be there to win. So 5 p.m. Pacific is when it starts tomorrow. Be there.
And in terms of win, how does one go about winning then, Brian? The get that you have to watch, but is there any way of increasing your luck, or is there any way of making sure you're entered into the giveaway?
Yep, so as of right now, we are planning to run the group buy live on Twitch through the Nightbot platform, which is going to be a very simple, easy means of doing an RNG system. You will have to be in chat. There will most likely be a keyword, and when I tell you to put that keyword in, you will put it in. I will wait a small amount of time, and then we will just RNG from there. And I'll do it live on stream so everyone can see what's going on. Jay and I are obviously not eligible to win. Sponsors, I'm pretty sure we're going to say no, they can't win either. Moderators, we have come to the decision that moderators can enter and win. So as long as you're in there, you should have a bit of a chance. Nothing is 100% certain yet, but if you are a Twitch subscriber, you might have higher odds to win. Still, nothing 100%, like I just said. Working out some specifics here, but if you are a Twitch subscriber, there is a chance you will have more odds to win.
Absolutely. So, dead looking forward to that. I'm going to have to stay up late again, 2 nights on the truck to be able to watch it. But I'll be there as well in chat, so yeah, look out for that, guys. It's going to be a good stream.
Iwane subbed at tier 1. Thank you very much for that. And Crunchy Meatloaf, great username, subbed for 4 months in a row with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, man.
Awesome.
Bear Antler asking if it's going to be on the Top Clack channel. Yes, it is going to be on this channel that you're watching right now, the Top Clack Twitch channel.
Yep. Cool. And then the last thing we were going to talk about in announcements today, which we said we'd do right at the top of the show, is around the T1s and the kind of drama that's been happening in the community around the fake Telio switches and fake Zelio switches. The current public knowledge that we have at the minute is that KBDfans are no longer selling Telios or Zelio switches. Additionally, they've also said that they're not going to stock any more T1 switches, but they will honour any orders that have already been made. So if anyone has bought some T1 switches through KBDfans, you will get those switches, but you can't now order any more. We have reached out to Way to ask if that's going to affect the Koala switch or not, but we haven't had an answer back on that one as yet. So that's something we're not certain about at the minute, but as soon as we've got an update on that, we'll let you know. And then the final thing to say as well is that EPBT stabs are also not going to be sold via Way anymore either. So those have all stopped through KBDfans. In terms of the rest, we're still not sure what's happening. I know there's conversations happening in the background between Gatorade and Zeal and Way and things like that. So things are happening, things are moving. We still don't know enough to be able to give you an update in terms of where our heads are at or what our thought processes or anything like that. We're still waiting to understand what the true story is behind the scenes. We can only go by what's being said in the public at the moment. So until that, we're reserving our right and judgment before we make any specific calls or make any decisions around going forward. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that and be completely transparent. No decisions as yet. We're still sat on the fence. We don't know enough about what's going on in the background. And as soon as we do, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, as far as we're aware from what we've heard, talks are still going on between Zeal, between Way, between Gateron, between potentially other factories. We don't have a full grasp on everything yet because everything is still kind of happening. But once we do, and it's public, we can let you know, and we can make our decision there. Obviously, like some of you probably know, we are sponsored by both Zeal and KBDfans, so this kind of puts us in a honestly pretty awkward spot. And we're trying very hard to get as much information as we can. So if we maybe have to part ways with a sponsor, we can have the information and feel confident about doing that. But as of today, still currently, we are sponsored still by Zeal and KBDfans. But pending more information, man. Just always pending.
Yeah. And as soon as we know, we'll tell you guys. We'll be completely open and honest about that.
Yeah.
Just catching up on some subs. There's been some more subs to the channel. So AWP 12,001 subscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much. CJT 9,000 subscribed for 4 months. Currently on a 4-month streak. Thank you very much, dude. Sensei Jia subscribed at tier 1 as well. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Iwane says, you said my name right. It's because I watch a lot of anime.
Fair enough. I would have said it wrong, so I apologise for that. And Young Shower Cap subscribed at tier 1 as well, so thank you very much for that, dude. We genuinely appreciate all of the subs.
Thank you very much, guys. Alright, so those are our announcements and information for now. Now we can roll into our news doc, where we have another pretty healthy news doc for you, but this week it's not quite as destroyed with
GMK
GMK interest checks. So we can have a nice little news doc for you guys right now. So let's start this off with a website that Jay and I have never even seen before, keyboardcollective.eu, and they are responsible for the 651 keyboard, is what they're calling it.
Yeah. So this is designed by Sputnik, who is a name that I do recognise from the community. I've seen him about before. It's a 65% board, and the reason it's called a 651 apparently is because it's 65%, and it's their first round or their first series of design language in boards as well. So that's where the 651 comes from. It has what they're calling a unibody design, where it's all kind of one piece, and then it has like a bottom plate that screws on at the bottom as well to kind of seal the board up. Which you can see in the pictures that Brian shared. 1.5mm plate, which is top mounted, a 7-degree angle, USB-C, and it supports MX and ALPS as well. So this is just an interest check at the moment. I think a group buy is going to be coming soon. At the moment, they have got a prototype. They've got 2 prototypes actually, which Brian showed the pictures of. They've got a white and a black one. They are prototyping a second version at the moment, and will proceed with the group buy as soon as that's ready. And they want to run a small group buy by midsummer of this year. So what do you think of this, Brian? How are you thinking about this?
I think it looks pretty nice, honestly. I don't know if it's just me, but when I first saw this, I immediately thought of that Thesis camper board that was like kind of a private group buy of sorts, the KN 2.10. I don't know if you remember that. It was a 60% that had a very similar side profile and bezel design, if I recall. This one just seems a little bit thicker. So every time I see this now, I kind of am just reminded of the KN 2.10. I do think it looks nice. I think the design is nice and simple. I like those unibody designs, especially the top mount ones. I'll be honest, nothing really stands out to me here. It seems like a pretty straightforward, pretty simple board, but nothing wrong with that. I respect it, especially for this guy's first run. This is his first keyboard he's produced, so. I think it looks fine. It looks nice, and I hope the price isn't too high.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think I like bezels on a board. I think they look really nice. I think this is kind of my, kind of style for a board. It looks good. I'll be interested to see when that bottom piece is put on, how much space there is on the inside. So because that'll affect the sound quite significantly, and also what's that bottom piece made from. I don't think it mentions anywhere in the interest check what the bottom piece is made from, but it looks like it could be the plastic or aluminium, so I'll be interested to see what that looks like. And I think it looks good. I think it looks fine. It'd look nice if they had a blocker option as well. I'd be interested to see if they could put a blocker option in there as well, which would change the options available for the bottom row as well. I'm not sure I like that whole 3 1U caps to the right hand side of the spacebar before you hit the arrow keys. I'm not sure that's the bottom row that I would pick personally. I think I'd rather have 2 1.5U keys there if I had the choice, but I'd rather run a whole 7U bottom row on this as well if I could. So I guess I'd be interested to see how that's going to roll out as well. And it'd be interesting to see what other options the PCB supports as well, because there's no KLE breakdown of the different layout supports either as well. But those are the only things I'd like to see. But I think as long as the price is good on this one, it'll do well. I think it's nice.
Yeah, we don't have all the information yet. Still an interest check, obviously, so we'll await more info on that. But it's a very simple and nice-looking board. I respect that. It's funny that you brought up the layout with all the 1U caps there. That used to be like the 65% layout that everyone used when 65% first started gaining popularity. Everyone just used 6 1U caps to the right of their spacebar. That was normal.
Yeah. I remember I had that on my M65A, and honestly, I don't think I could go back to that now. I'd have to change it if I could. But other than that, I think the board looks nice. I would like to see. I know it says in the interest check that they support ISO and ANSI, but it'd be interesting to see what the different options are in terms of the rest of the layout of the PCB.
If we'll get a universal plate, or we'll actually have fixed plates for each layout, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
It's quite hefty though, 2.5 kilograms fully built. That's pretty chunky.
That is pretty chunky. Yeah, these are some pretty thick bezels. I imagine they're like fully solid underneath it. So that's something that you can get from that unibody design, where you don't have like a normal 2-piece case, because when the bottom is just one flat piece of material that's thin, then you can have the entire body be pretty chunky, and it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's move on.
Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, and this is a pretty darn interesting one. It's an interest check for the Bireme, I think is how it's pronounced. That's what we settled on, right? Okay, which is a wireless Ergodox-inspired split keyboard. And there aren't any direct links for pictures, so I actually have to open this one. But as you can tell, it is a split ergonomic board that's kind of inspired by not only the Ergodox but also the Unigo 66. He effectively goes on to state that he had some issues with both of them, but he thought they were a good concept, and he kind of wanted to put them together and come up with something a little bit new. So he went with this wireless version, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think this looks quite nice. One of the challenges I usually have with these split boards is the fact that they're ortho, but the vertical rather than the horizontal stagger looks quite nice on this. It's not too extreme. There's plenty of stagger there, but it's no more than 0.5 U across the top row if you look at that. So I think that's something that I could broadly give a good shot at having a try with. So I'd be interested to see how this one goes. It is top mount as well, 5-point top mount system per half. I think it looks all right. In terms of other specs, it's got Bluetooth 5.0, an internal LiPo battery that can be charged via USB as well, Kale hot swap sockets, and it is QMK compatible as well.
Yeah, so pretty decent specs, actually.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any, judging from these pictures at least, the only prototypes we have here are the 3D printed ones that he's showing off here. So we don't have a true prototype yet.
Yeah, he does say that in the interest check that it's still a fluid project and he's still wanting to prototype every couple of weeks until he's got everything set. But once he does, then he'll be having aluminium ones ordered. In terms of price as well, I think it's a little bit on the expensive side, but it's not unachievable. So for a CNC case, electronics, stainless steel plate, and powder coating service, it's $360, which that doesn't seem out of the realms of possibility, but it is certainly more than any Ergodox kind of price or Unigo price I've seen. So I'll be interested to see how that price changes over time as the interest check goes further, and what the group buy price is if this makes it to group buy.
Yeah, I think getting the PCB right is going to be pretty important here if you want to do a true wireless, especially from what it seems like you do a true wireless between the two pieces as well, so they actually function separately without a cable, which is pretty cool. 360, like you said, a little on the high side, but that's really far from outside the realm of what people are normally and willing to pay for nice keyboards. A lot of keyboards that start at $300, $400, $500 that are pretty nice. So I think if he really nails the quality and the PCB comes out perfect and he gets all the features that he wants, I don't think 360 is really that astronomical here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. I think if that price is broadly reasonable and it stays at that kind of level, I think it'll do well. Yeah. There's a lot of people in the market for these kind of boards right now. So yeah, especially with the Bluetooth functions, I think, and the battery included function, I think it'll do well.
Yep. So we'll have to wait more and see on that. Of course, just an early interest check, so we can touch on this more if he makes it to the next phase. Let's move on to something a little bit more familiar to some of you if you've been around for a little while. This is an interest check for the Minorca and Sebright 40% keyboards. You may have remembered Alex at Ponk, who we've had on the show very early on in the show's life cycle, so it's been quite a while, but we've had him on. He's kind of a designer and materials expert of sorts, and he is bringing breathing a little bit more life into his earlier designs. So Minorca and Sebright were 40% layouts that he made himself years ago, and they were kind of just these do-it-yourself DIY kits that were just skeleton plates and stuff. It wasn't like a fancy CNC case or anything, but he wanted to kind of upgrade those. So those were very simple boards that you kind of throw together yourself, and they were very, very inexpensive. They actually enjoyed quite a bit of success due to how cheap they were and how simple they were to actually put together. But he's upgrading here. He's got a kind of a CNC'd aluminum frame on this one now. I want to call it high profile, but I think it in some pictures it kind of shows that it's not quite high profile. Let me open up the other link here while you run down some stats for us, Jay.
Yeah, sure. So it's full aluminium frame and base with a 4-degree incline, so it's quite shallow in terms of the typing angle. It does have full RGB underglow if you like that kind of thing, as well as a frosted acrylic diffuser. I think from looking at the pictures as well that you've sharing, Brian, I think the reason why it sits so low is when it doesn't have the diffuser. It looked a little bit better when I was looking at the diffuser ones, but it's only what I would call high pro at that point. Still, it's not quite really what we'd call high pro by a lot of other standards. Yeah. But it is top mount switch plate, and the switch plate supports both the Minorca and the Sebright layout, so you can swap and change the internals between and just get one case if you wanted to. It's a USB-C connector on there, which we're seeing a lot more of these days. I think it's almost goes without saying now that new boards are going to be USB-C. Again, it supports QMK. And the price point that he's targeting for this is $240, which seems quite reasonable for a full CNC case with diffuser options and multiple layout supports. It doesn't seem too expensive. I'm interested to see how these turn out because I've still got one of the original. I can't remember whether I've got the Minorca or the Sebright, but I've still got one of the original ones from the original group buy. So if I can retrofit that into this, that'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's simple. It's not overly ambitious. It's bringing smaller boards to the masses, because one thing that we sort of lack in this community is truly high quality boards that are sub 60%. And I feel like we have been shifting over to have a lot more of them as of late, but it's still kind of a very somewhat new territory, since there tends to not be as many people using those particular sizes and layouts versus something like 60% or larger. So I'm happy to see this. I think the price is fair, judging by what you get. So I'm glad to see that it's top mount. I'm glad to see there's a diffuser option that's optional. I would like to see the case just be a little bit taller on the top, just so it really does ensure that kind of high profile aesthetic. I think if you're going to go high profile, you really have to make it high profile. And on some of the pictures, it could just be, a misleading perspective of the shot, or just maybe me being stupid and not seeing it properly. But some of them just don't look high profile. Even with the diffuser, it seems like it's maybe just even a fraction of a millimeter too short on that.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it does. It is borderline whether it's high pro or not. I think it does need a little bit of height adding around the side of the case, just to cover the keycaps up a little bit and remove that switch view. But other than that, I think it looks really nice. He's clearly got a lot of different prototypes as well. There's ones in various different colours as well on the website. So it'd be interesting to see how these turn out in real life when he starts to ship them.
Yeah, looks pretty good. 4-degree angle though. I feel like that's why 4? I feel like that's kind of an odd number. Like most keyboards, if it's not flat, they kind of aim for a 5-degree or larger. 4 seems it's fairly small.
Yeah, I don't know. 4 degrees for 40%, maybe. I don't know. It's probably a little bit too flat for me. I'd probably have to try and find some thicker bump ons or something for the back of the case to just give it that bit more of an angle, personally.
Same.
But yeah, I don't know. It could just be Alex's preference, and that might be what it's based on, which is fair enough.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Talisman Solutions gifts a tier 1 sub to Piezoelectro. Piezoelectro. Yeah, okay. It broke off the line. Wow, that's a long name. Got it. Thank you very much, Talisman, for that sub gift there. All right, so yeah, that's going to be the interest check for the upgraded Minorca and Sebright 40%, and hopefully you guys can check that out pretty soon. I imagine it will be coming soon. This guy's usually pretty quick about stuff, and he's pretty thought out. So I imagine he's definitely planning to launch this in the very near future.
Cool. Okay, moving on then. Next up, we've got the interest check for Shinobi Tools, which is a series of small boards based on the Katana 60. So what have we got here, Brian?
So yeah, this is kind of interesting. So if you guys maybe remember from the past a year, maybe 2 years at this point, when the Katana 60 launched, it is a 60% PCB. It fits that standard 60% PCB format, but the layout was very different. It kind of functioned almost as a split layout keyboard, while still retaining the size and functionality of a 60%. So it's pretty interesting. As you can see here, I don't think he has a breakdown of the Katana, which I probably should have grabbed specifically for this, but you kind of get the idea on this first option here, which is the Kodachi. If you guys haven't really noticed, and maybe your Japanese bladesmith skills are not really up to par, obviously the Katana 60 is the 60% version. That is the largest sword out of this series. The Kodachi is one kind of size down from the Katana. Then he has the Tanto 40, which is kind of like a large knife, I guess you could say. And then the Kaikin is their 30% variant, which is the smaller dagger knife kind of thing. But the idea here is that you get this kind of odd layout. I'm going to say odd, but I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. Obviously, this is very functional for a lot of people. The Katana 60 did sell a fair amount of units, and people were relatively happy with them. So if this is something that you can kind of learn, maybe this is definitely right up your alley. It really does kind of enforce that split kind of feel, where obviously you can see here that your alphas are kind of broken up here in the middle with this column of keys, where you get some punctuation and modulation there. So what do you what do you think about this?
It's kind of interesting because I've used a Katana 60 and it felt very much to me like using the VEA, but having to have it in connected mode rather than having it disconnected.
Yep.
And I really enjoy using my VEA disconnected. So it was kind of a weird sensation, but it was something that was ultimately quite usable for me. I'm not sure if that would translate to a 50% board or smaller for me, because I struggle with anything that's small. I still struggle with the TMO 50, even though that's my daily workhorse in terms of travel board and things like that. So I still struggle with that. So I'm not sure I'd be able to do the whole kind of split thing personally. That being said, I think it's great that we're embracing these new layouts. The more opportunity and the more diversity and the more inclusion we have within the community for all of these layouts, whatever people's preferences are, the better. These are going to be more ergonomic for some people. They're going to prefer these, are going to like to be able to use this kind of layout. So I'm all for supporting them, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like this 30% one, the Kaikin, is oddly usable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like this is something that I think I could actually use. Which is, like, so strange, because I'm awful on small boards. But I feel like this particular style of layout with the kind of split, but not split thing, I feel like this works oddly well with this particular layout, the smallest one.
I think the only thing I'd change on that is I would have the space bar as tap for space and hold for FN. I think that's how I would have it, so you could access number row across the top or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Out of the three, that it probably does look like the most usable option. It looks, especially if you're just doing like entering text, that kind of thing.
For being that small of a board, it looks usable. Usually when I see a 30% board like the Gherkin or the Miyuni or whatever they're called, I'm like, no way. There's just no way I could ever do that, and I don't even want to try because it looks painful, but I kind of want to try one of these.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they sell and how they sell up. Because if we talk about the prices, which we haven't covered on yet, the prices are all pretty cheap, to be honest. The kit with the basic cases start from anywhere between $55 and up to $69, depending on whether you get the small, medium, or large one. And as well as that, if you really want to, you can buy the whole package of all three for $155, which is pretty good, to be honest. I think that's for three unique boards with very significant layouts that are different to anything else you're likely to have. I think that's really good. It's a great price.
Yeah, $155 for three keyboards with high what seems to be high profile cases. Obviously, has kind of mocked up here. The basic kind of case is just going to be this kind of 2-plate skeleton system. We've all seen this before. This is nothing new, very familiar. The more full case is what they're calling it, is going to be more like a stacked acrylic layer. Also not really new, but hey, it can get you to high profile effectively, so that's a little bit nicer. You get that kind of underglow and lighting and stuff, and it's nice. $155 to get all three of the highest tier boards. Seems pretty reasonable. Seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah. So big shout out to World Spawn, because I think this is a great interest check. There's a lot of talk about, there's a lot of description around his options. There's a lot of rationale for why he's got those choices in there. They're clearly well thought out, and he's spent a lot of time working out how they should be and how they should feel and how they should look to use. So yeah, I'm excited to see some of these come out, and to be honest, I'm probably going to pick up all 3 and get that $155 option just for the sake of trying them out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that too as well. It's cheap enough to where I feel like I could try out all 3, and if I don't like any or all of them, I can sell them for the same or not much lower of a price.
Yeah, it's not breaking the bank to try something new, right? And that's great for the hobby, and it's great for the community.
Absolutely. So we'll look onto this with great interest, and hopefully we can get the group buy thread in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of things, some things people have been waiting on for a while. And GMK Merlin has been one of them. The set currently in interest check, previously named GMK Cerulean Sage. He has swapped the name over to GMK Merlin a little bit more recently, but it still kind of fits the same color theme here. Official interest check is up on Kono right now, as you can see. And it's a pretty lovely looking set, honestly. I've liked it throughout all of its interest check cycle, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it looks great. I think the colours work well together. Interestingly enough, my school PE kit uniform was actually pretty much these colours. So it does remind me of school and physical education and having to do all of that, which is quite interesting. But no, I think this looks great. Merlin's been touting this set for a while. He's been talking about it on the Discord servers. He's been teasing us with bits and pieces of it since it originally went into interest check on Keycap about a year ago, something like that. I think it was middle of last year. So it's really good to see this actually progressing. It's now up with Kono. It means it's going to happen. And the big thing I wanted to shout as well is that base kit, coverage is absolutely great. So you've got pretty much everything you could possibly want in that base kit. Numpad, ISO, 40% support, absolutely any key that you could possibly need for most layouts that we support in the community today is all going to be included in there. TKL, 65% HHKB, you name it, it's in there. And as well as that, there's also a wizardry kit and an ortho kit as well. I'm not sure if you've had a look at those in any detail, Brian.
I'm going to open it up now so I can show it a little bit better on stream. Just trying to make sure I size things properly here so you guys can all see. Wizardry kit, I think, is hilarious. I've said this many times in the past. I am always a sucker for text-based novelties.
Agree. Yeah. You
give me an enter that says summon on it. Look at this. I'm already buying this. Like anything like that, I love it. He's got QMK caps, hats, orbs. It's adorable. It's very Merlin. If any of you guys aren't familiar with Mech Merlin, he is another content creator in the community, and he does a really nice job. He's actually pretty local to me. He's only about an hour away. He's a really nice guy. I spent a lot of time with him in person. Really good stuff. Really good set. This is a winner for me. I think I'd have to buy this.
Yeah, I think same. Especially the wizardry kit.
I have to buy the wizardry kit.
The only thing I hope is that on that wizardry kit he puts a summon ISO enter key in there, because that's the only thing that we're missing for me. I definitely want a summon keycap. So I definitely want it. Either that, or if you had one for backspace or something like that, would be really useful as well. That's the only thing that I would change about any of this set. I think everything else is great. It's fantastic to see, multiple support for different layouts in the base kits, especially 40s, which we haven't seen for quite some time. And that ortho kit looks really good as well. So yeah, I'm all over this, and I think it looks great.
Awesome. Well, let's prepare to buy that then, because I already am. Shoutouts to Mech Merlin for making this set. Looking forward to the group buy stage, which hopefully will be pretty soon. There is no date on this yet, but Kono, generally speaking, will bring things to group buy pretty soon after running the interest check. Generally speaking, so
it's going to be fairly quick, And the other thing to call out as well is it's a nice, easy one for GMK to make because they're GMK stock colours as well. So it's not something that's going to be a struggle to achieve from GMK's perspective, and it's going to look really close to what it does in the renders. It's not going to be one of these sets where there's a risk around Pantones or RAL colours being used that aren't able to be translated into GMK's coloured plastics. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to this one. All right, on to another GMK set. Wait, did we talk about this one already? Or maybe we didn't.
No, not this one. No, we've talked about a lot of GMK sets, so I can understand your confusion on that. But no, we haven't talked about this one yet.
I'm getting so mixed up. Oh, it was Peaches and Cream that we talked about. I knew the Peach was registering with me.
Yeah. So this one's GMK Peach Blossom, not Peaches and Cream, which is Ren's next set after Mizu. But this one is a simple pink and white key set, and apparently it's inspired by the Asian peach tree blossoms. So yeah, it's pink. What do you think, Brian?
I think you just said it, Jay. It's pink, and I'm all for pink. I've owned pink keyboards. I will own pink key sets. I think it looks fine. It looks like it's really bright in some of these renders, like really, really in your face pink. And I'm not really sure that's for me, but it's bold, and maybe some people appreciate that. Yeah,
it is very pink. There's no other way of describing it, but it's a nice shade of pink. I'll be honest. It's just there's a lot of it, right? There's a lot of pink there. So I'll be interested to see how this one looks. If it does go into group buy, I think it'll be fairly close to the renders, given that they've been done by Jan and Ablotsky. So I think that will be more than fine. In terms of the kit breakdown, I think everything's looking pretty good. You've got numpad, you've got TKL, you've got full size, 60%, anti and ISO variants. You can also do, Sangan, HHKB, whatever else you need. It's a really good all-encompassing kit there. So I think it'll cover most boards. I think it looks really good on the white bower as well. That's kind of like the best render for me in this collection. Yeah. With that kind of pink underneath of the bower, that looks really good. I actually really like it on that board.
I agree. That looks absolutely lovely. I think I need a novelty here. You gotta give me a novelty here. It's gotta be just, even if it's just a simple peach blossom flower, whatever you want to call it. I need one.
Yeah, it needs something to differentiate. You're right. I think you're right. Even if it is kind of like the hand drawn flower that's in the opening post, something like that.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd even take that. Yeah, that's cute. That's all I need. I don't need anything crazy. I don't need 30 novelties. I need just one novelty for like Windows keys. Maybe another one for Escape. Nothing too insane. Just something simple that kind of just enforces the Peach Blossom theme.
Yeah, absolutely. Luna Samo has reached out and said he's potentially going to do a Rama key if the interest is there. So I'll be interested to see if that's the case as well, and what's going to be the design on that Rama key.
Okay.
But I think, it's a nice looking set. But it's pink. It's very pink.
It's very pink. I like pink. This is borderline too much pink for me. But
yeah, I think if you go on a light board, it will help it. I think on a dark board, it will highlight the pink more, and it'll be too pink, I suspect. But yeah, on a light board, I think it'd be fine.
I'm almost worried about the contrast a little bit.
Yeah, that's an interesting point actually, because the white is going to struggle to show up on such a color as that. It depends on how close to that in real life it looks with the plastics and things like that. Because whilst we're looking at a digital representation on a screen, the final plastics will look different in different lights and with different shadows and things on. So it'll be interesting to see what the legends look like.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I feel like this set could either go either way, and it could be really, really awesome, or it could, suffer a lot from contrast issues. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to wait and see. But the set, I think there's definitely potential there for it. And pretty good interest check information, good renders here, obviously, courtesy of Oblatsky and Younglad. Awesome, good stuff.
Yeah, design inspiration as well. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll have to look forward to checking this out again once it hits the group buy phase, and we can get a little bit more info on it and go from there. Let's move on to yet another interest check for a GMK set, and to be fair, this one has actually been in the works for a very long time.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
So this one's come back this week with all new updates based on where it was, just over a year ago. So this is GMK Cyan, which is based on, and I believe this is Dragon Ball Z. Is that right? Or Z? Is that right?
This is indeed Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. Which means automatically that I know very little about the background of this set or anything like that. So, what for the unassuming layman, what is the?
Hold on, is this set actually coming back?
Yeah, that's what.
Is that what, I'm trying to find where he says that in the comments.
That's what I believe. It had been updated.
I mean, a lot of people have been commenting on it lately, but or some people have, but I haven't actually seen where the OP is saying things about it.
I got this one from chat the other day saying it was coming back. That's where it came from. So, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, as of right now, I don't think it's coming back yet, just because the OP makes no mention of that anywhere. Some people have commented on it randomly, but I don't think it's actually coming back yet.
Interesting.
So I vote we skip this topic for now. And if the OP does actually say something like it's coming back, because his last update was over a year ago, and he hasn't commented on it since about that time.
Sure. Okay, that's fine.
We're gonna skip this. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We're gonna move on to another interest check by Neflock. This is GMK Kaiju, which you may remember is the name of a set we covered last week, but this is a different set, and the previous GMK Kaiju set has been renamed to crap. What was it?
Unit 01 to follow the EVA theme.
Yes. So this is GMK Kaiju, but not like the one we checked out last week. So tell us a little bit about this one, Jay.
So this is Neflock's second set. So if you guys don't know Neflock, he was behind GMK Metropolis, which just finished Group Buy a couple of weeks ago. This is GMK Kaiju with all sorts of different green and bright orange kind of colours to it. I think it looks really, really nice, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised by this one. There's a lot of compatibility in the kits, and there's lots of different kits as well for this one. So there's kind of a base kit that covers all of your standard stuff. So it's got your 6%, your TKL, your ISO support, your HHKB, things like that. It does split out the numpad and put the numpad into a separate kit, which is nicely named the Data Logs kit, which I kind of like. I do like it when people name kits and things like that. I think it's good. So that gives you numpad support and all of the different variants that you could want on that. There's also the Abnormalities Kit, which is effectively your kind of odd sizes and your odd-shaped keys for different layouts and some of your orthodox layouts and things like that, especially a second B for Alice users and all of that kind of good stuff, as well as spacebars. But then the best kit of all we get to is the Warnings Kit. And this is where the novelties take place. There's a few different novelties, some with creatures in the background, with the Japanese rising sun, as well as Japanese legends, and also the flag and exclamation marks as well, which I really like that kit. I think it's really, really cute, and it adds a lot of value to the set as a whole, in my opinion. What do you think, Sebright?
I think it looks pretty good. I don't know why, but the name of the Abnormalities Kit I think is probably the best name of a kit I've ever seen in my life, because it really just it fits the theme and it relates to the actual kit itself. So I think that's kind of a home run there. The set looks pretty good. You know, we're still seeing the kind of push on Weeb Legends here, the Hiragana subs, but it kind of fits the theme here. Obviously, it's a Japanese kind of inspired set. So I think it looks good. I think it definitely has the potential to be very successful. I don't know if I'd buy it, but I like it. It looks nice.
I really like the colours for this one. I think this is definitely a must buy for me, especially when there's none of the reddish orange caps in the mods. When the mods are all green, and then you've got the orange on the alphas. I really like that look. That kind of just works for me. It looks really good on that 910, for example. So I'm all over this one. I think it's right up my street.
Yeah, I think it's a good combination of colors and an interesting combination of colors. I feel like they took risks here and it paid off.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So that's GMK Kaiju, guys. Make sure to give it some feedback if you're into it. As we move on to yet another GMK interest check. This one, interestingly named GMK IC. Which stands
IC for GMK IC.
Yeah, which stands for GMK It's Clear. And this is certainly a different vein of set than we're used to seeing through GMK. So tell us why this one is really unique, Jay.
So this one's unique because it's a GMK set using clear ABS plastic instead of coloured ABS plastic. So all of the key sets that we look at tend to have specific colourways to them, like the Kaiju set we just looked at with the greens and the creams and the oranges and things like that. This is all about having those clear keycaps. Now, in terms of the set and the layout, they're not going to have legends to them because they're going to be completely clear, which should keep the compatibility high without having to produce extra keys because there's no inconsistent legends to worry about. Additionally, as well of that, the runner called Taylor is G does have 4 good reasons as to why you might want to purchase this kind of set as well. Firstly, you might be angry that you can't see those heavily modded Franken switches that you've spent all that time lubing, and now you've just gone and covered them in keycaps, which, to be fair, I think I've experienced before when I've made some really nice looking switches and then can't see them. Or you might have an acrylic or polycarb board and you just want to continue that clear aesthetic. You might have the RGBs and want to be able to see those. Or you'd rather just buy one key set, and this is key, guys. This is really key, and this might be the key to all of our purchasing concerns for the next 10 years or more. But you'd rather buy one key set and use your active imagination to pretend that you, in fact, have some sort of other, more creative key set. So there we go. MOQ will be 150 units. Price is pending from GMK. He's actually talking about them. This is a serious interest check, we'll see. We'll see how that comes out.
I like the pricing information. Price is pending from GMK. I'm shooting for less than 1 Olivia. Or 1 Serica.
1 Serica, yeah.
1 Serica. Which is what, like $800,000?
Yeah, something like that. Close to $1 million now, I think.
$1 million? Yeah, pretty close. Alright. So, it seems serious. It looks pretty serious. He has a form for it as well. I thought it was kind of a meme or a joke at first, but I feel like this could be successful. I feel like there is a lack of good quality and layout compatible clear keycaps. Of course, you can buy clear OEM profile caps that fit like a standard layout, but that's about it. We don't have this. This is a void in the community right now. So whether it's a joke or a meme or not, I feel like this could actually be pretty successful.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think there's probably a market there for them. As people do like glowing lights in boards, that's really popular. Given it's only one color and there's no legends to do, it should be relatively cheap and easy, and you can keep compatibility high by using a fewer number of keys because you don't have to worry about legends. So I think this should be a really easy group buy to pick up the kind of volumes you need to make it a success. Yeah,
I think if this could be ran for $100 or less, it'll be pretty successful. Obviously, like you mentioned earlier, you can cut down the amount of keys needed a bit because you don't need proper legends. You just need the right size cap. So that kind of takes out a lot of the quote unquote unnecessary caps here to hopefully get the price down a little bit lower. I'm curious to see where this goes. Certainly.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, because I have got some GMK keycaps that are clear that came from another set a long time ago, which was actually an original ski data set off of a ski data board, which is kind of like a vintage board within the community. And that did have some clear keycaps that were GMK profile and GMK produced on there. So I'll be interested to see if this interest check does pan out, and then we can see a group buy for an IC.
Yeah. So we'll have to check back and see if there's enough interest. Dixie in chat said that if there's enough interest, he's going to be running the set, actually. So that's pretty cool, too.
Good. Nice, Dixie. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. An interest check for Ghost, which is currently an undecided profile, apparently. He has it shown here in what I'm assuming is row 3 uniform SA in this first picture.
But looks to be, yeah.
But obviously, we don't know what profile this could be yet. Right off the bat, I would say that this could have contrast issues. It even has contrast issues in the render.
Well, I think that's the point of the set. He said he does it as a low contrast white set, and it's inspired from the low contrast black sets like Ninja and Black on Black and blank sets as well. So it's kind of having that whole kind of contrast issue by default. He's kind of aiming for that. That's what he wants. He wants it to be really low contrast in terms of the legends, which is a unique perspective to take, because normally we're always worried about legends being legible, and in this case he's trying to aim for them to almost match the color of the caps themselves. So it's an interesting take on it.
Yeah, that's really uncommon. That usually doesn't happen in the community, so it certainly is interesting that they're aiming for that. So some of these mock-ups are pretty interesting. The novelties, the text-based novelties, like the "don't" is on the escape, and then in the second one here, there's a "don't hate me, I need you," which is spooky. I guess is the right way to put it. I assume the theme really is kind of horrific ghosts or something.
Yeah, I think there's lots of other options you could do with those novelties as well. So we'll see. I think they're quite fun. You could have a lot of fun with putting those keycaps on the board as well.
Yeah.
Especially if it is a uniform profile and you can put them anywhere, you can have quite a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So at the bottom he says, "I'm not sold on doing GMK for this, like seemingly every other I see, but voice your opinion in the comments and I'll see what the feels are." So I feel like if you did something like a uniform profile, like DSA, like CAM, like SA profile row 3 only, I feel like you get a lot more use out of these text novelties, which he seems to want to include a lot of. So I feel like you kind of have to go that route if you're really trying to push all these text novelties personally.
Yeah. Yeah, and he does say he'll kit up respectively for whatever profile he decides on ultimately. So if he's going to do it for SP, he'll build up the kits for that, and if he's going to do it in GMK, he'll build up the kits for that as well. So it's something where he doesn't have the kits designed out yet because he hasn't decided on the profile, and the profile choice might affect the kit layout as well.
Yep. All right, so we'll have to pay attention to this and get more information on it once it moves on to the next stage.
Absolutely.
I'm impressed with how well we're moving the news doc, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. We're making pretty good time.
Yeah.
All right, so Sushi Zen BMT is our the user of the or the designer probably rather of the next set. Interest check for GMK Osaka, which is we've seen a lot of sets inspired by Japan and its culture as of late.
Well, just before we get into this set, why do you think that is, Brian? Why do you think that we see so many interest checks and designs around Japanese culture?
Because Japanese culture is awesome. I honestly don't really have a good idea. I feel like maybe there's something I'm missing. I do think that now that obviously GMK has had the molds for Hiragana Sub-Legends for a while, a lot of people are really pushing Hiragana Sub-Legends and Katakana Sub-Legends as well. So I feel like we've seen a lot of sets with those, and maybe that kind of inspires people to want to tie it back in with some kind of Japanese theme with the set. But that's just me shooting at random. I don't really know.
Fair. Okay. No, interested. Okay, so tell us about this particular set then. What part of Japanese culture is this kit based
on? So this is inspired by Osaka's Kanjazoku Racers, which I'm actually not sure of. I didn't research on what that was before we looked at this set, so that was my bad, guys. Hopefully someone has a better idea and maybe can explain that. But yeah, so that's what's going on here, and he does have a lot of different renders here, both with sub-legends, Hiragana sub-legends, or Latin mono-legends, but he also has mono-legends for Hiragana and mono-legends for Katakana, which are a little bit more rare. We don't see those generally speaking, so it looks like he really wanted to try to push those Japanese legends one way or another. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're right. You're probably right. He took those Japanese sub-legends and tried to build a set around those. I suspect. I think you're right, and then fit it to the theme afterwards, maybe. So I think just having a quick Google, the Kanjazoku races are basically it's street racing kind of outfit, where they dress up the cars in different liveries and color schemes and things like that. So it's all based on street racer culture, which is kind of interesting. I think there's a lot of different options for these kits. I think the ones with the kind of yellowish alphas are probably a bit too yellow for me. I think I prefer it with the paler, whiter shaded alphas. I think it's almost kind of when we look back at the historic sets, it's almost like looking at the Penumbra Solarized versus the Penumbra Standard alphas, and I think the Solarized were always nicer for me. I think it looks fine. I think it will easily sell if whatever version of this gets produced. People are always going to like the bright pinks and the whites and the teal colours, so I think it'll do okay. And those purplish tones as well will do fine too. I think I'd like to see some actual renders of it on a board rather than just the kind of layout options that we've got to see so far in here as well.
Yeah, so I totally agree. Two things I like to see here, renders. Better renders, more renders, good renders. That's what we want. Another thing, and this is kind of just a shout out to everyone running an interest check or knows someone running an interest check. If you're going to have a theme and you're basing the color set on something specific, have a reference example.
Yeah.
Show me where these colors came from. Why are you choosing these colors in particular? Let me kind of see like the theme that's going on here. Maybe just me being picky, but I do like to see the references.
Yeah, no, I'd completely agree. I think more renders on boards so we can see what it's going to look like. Bit of understanding is what the reference is. Don't make us Google what Konjazuku races are or assume that we know, because that's probably not going to be everyone in the community. Yeah. Just tell us more about the set. I do think that they need to make some choices quite quickly, otherwise they'll lose a lot of interest in this. They need to be really clear and say, this is what we're going for, this is the legends we're going to be putting on this set if we run it. Making that decision up front is probably a better way than giving too much choice to the community, because no one's ever going to agree in the community, and I think you risk turning off a lot of your audience by giving them too much choice sometimes. I think it's easier to say, this is what I'm doing, do you want me to tweak it, rather than saying, look at all these different options, which one should I run effectively? Yeah,
well, especially in a set like this too, because when you're basing on something specific that I'm going to go ahead and assume that he or she is very interested in, you have to be the driving force behind that. You can't be taking advice on colors from people that have no interest in this particular theme and don't know anything about it. For example, like, you can't just be like, hey, I don't like this color because I don't like that color. The colors should be chosen based on the theme. Like, you shouldn't let other people affect how that changes. Maybe just my opinion, but yeah, I think if you're the one designing it and you have a clear-cut theme how you want to go about it, you really have to be really finite on the colors that you choose, so that way it actually fits the theme. Otherwise, what's the point of having the theme?
Absolutely, yeah. Show us a theme, make it really specific to that, and take it from there. Yep.
All right, moving out of key sets and on to some other accessories and such. We have a pretty interesting interest check from I think DESKEYS is kind of the brand name they're going with. And so these are Topre Silencing rings. Obviously, we've seen Topre Silencing rings in the past. These have been around for a long time. People used to use dental bands. Hyperspheres enjoyed a ridiculous amount of popularity a while ago. We've had the Silence X rings from KBDfans, I think is what they're called. Clack ran a set of them as well. But here's something we're seeing for the very first time: different thicknesses offered in the at the same time. So this is pretty interesting. So we have 4 different thicknesses here. So we have the 0.2 millimeter thickness, which is the ultra thin edition. 0.3 millimeters is the thin edition. 0.4 millimeters is the medium edition, and 0.5 millimeters is the original, is what they're calling it, which is their thickest one. So just for some references, guys, in case you may not be completely aware, the Hyperspheres, which it had a lot of success in the past, are 0.6 millimeter. So all versions of this are thinner than Hypersphere rings. The Silence X solution, which is a much more modern and more recent version from KBDfans, comes in at 0.22 millimeters or so. So that one's also pretty thin. But what makes these a little bit more special is these actually have a PET film coating for durability. How do you feel about this, Jay?
I'm not a Topre user, but one of the things. So for me, it's more of understanding how these work. Do these work on the key press, or is it on the return of the key where these are going to silence? Is it the downstroke or the upstroke where they work? Because it's not clear for me.
The upstroke, which tends to be where a lot of the noise from Topre comes from. So this goes, this obviously goes on the slider.
And then as it comes up, it
exactly. Then
it that upstroke. Got you.
Yeah, exactly. So this is cool.
Yeah, if people want silent boards, and they do, we know that from the sale that we see of Helios and all the other silent switches out there in MX world, which is more my joie de vivre. But in terms of Topre, if this is going to work for people, then it's absolutely a great idea. In terms of the thickness, it seems good to have multiple options. Is it a worry that these are all still thinner than what's previously been the standard for the community?
I'm going to say no, just because hyperspheres are outdated, man. Hypersphere had the popularity in like 2015, 2016, when there were really no other competing things on the market. Some people were using dental bands, which are really quite a bit thicker. And they were bad. Dental band is just like the worst method for silencing Topre. And, there were some other kind of hit or miss things, but hypersphere, even though imperfect, was kind of the go-to method, unless you wanted to take apart a 10th anniversary Real Force and harvest the sliders and dampening rings from those, which are, it was inefficient and very, very unnecessarily expensive. So I think that something like this, where you can get it cheap, you can get lots of options, they're durable because they have that PET film coating, which, by the way, makes them a lot easier to apply. A lot of other things, like the Silence X rings, for example, don't have something like that. They're incredibly difficult to apply because of how malleable they are. Yeah. Sure. So this seems like kind of a home run, and if it does all the things it claims, this is by far going to be the best Topre silencing method. Because you'll have your choice. They'll be easier to install. They'll be more durable. They'll be cheap, and they'll be accessible. So I do have some of these on the way to test, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm not usually a silenced Topre kind of guy. I feel like lube silences it enough for me. But, like you had mentioned, there are a lot of people out there that like silent switches. Helios, wildly popular. So, we'll have to wait and see. I think that the potential is very high for these, and I hope they can deliver. And I'll definitely let everyone know once I get them in and test them.
Good. Yeah, interesting. I am interested to see if these work and what the effect of them is. I guess if you wanted as well, you could stack multiple of these together. So if you did want to go past that 0.5mm and get up to the kind of thicknesses we saw on previous ones, you could put a 0.5mm and a 0.2mm together, for example, and have them both on the key. It looks like that's achievable. I don't know if that would affect it negatively or not.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, in theory, because of the coating on that, you could. I don't know why you'd ever want to go that thick. A lot of the problems that previous methods have had in the past is because they're too thick. People don't like how much it takes away from the tactility. So when you have these rings and they sit on the slider, it gives the it starts the press for you when you have one of these rings on, because it sits lower than it otherwise would. So when you start the press, obviously with Topre, where it's a parabolic switch, or I use switch loosely there, but it's a parabolic event. The tactility starts immediately. You're already in the tactility basically. When you start to get thicker materials like the hyperspheres, it starts to detract from that larger bump that a lot of people like because of Topre.
You're already on that dome, and effectively what you're doing, you're just starting to slightly compress that dome. The more you put above it,
exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. So keep that in mind, guys. But this is looking promising, to say the least.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's move on to something that I imagine is near and dear to your heart, Jay.
Well, kind of. Okay, so this is an interest check for Aluminium, ISO, Enter, Keycaps, and this comes from the Caps Unlocked store, who's a UK vendor who I know personally as well. And effectively is what it says on the tin. It's an interest check for Aluminium, ISO, Enter keys. Now, first of all, for me, that sounds great. I like ISO. That's how I build all my boards. An aluminium key is a great addition. It'd also be really good for things like the isotope and other macro pads that are in development at the minute to support just the ISO enter. But there's a couple of problems that I've noticed with this. The first thing, and Capsule Nook did send me some images of this before we released the IC last week. There's no options for stabilizer support. It's literally just mounted onto the key switch, and that's probably going to generate some difficulties in actually using the key. As you know, the problem with the ISO enter, the same as the anti-enter or any other key switch that's larger than 2U, is it kind of needs that stabilizer support to make sure that it's actually pressable and returns correctly, and it doesn't wobble or twist or deform when you're using that key, and to make sure that any off-center hits also work correctly as well, and that the key actuates successfully. I feel that without having that stabilizer support, you wouldn't be able to use this on a board that already has stabilizers installed, because you're probably going to get interference with the stabilizers themselves. And if you don't have any stabilizers there, then it's going to twist and deform in terms of its position on the keycap as well, given the fact that the cruciform design isn't what we'd have as a standard stem, and the fact that it's a full cross that's milled into a post rather than it being a true MX gripping stem. So a couple of bits of feedback that I've already given to Rohit, who runs Caps and Lux, to try and address those. But if he does address those and he adds the kind of stabilizer support, then I'm in at £30, which is about $35 per piece. That's kind of in the broad ballpark of any other aluminium keycap that we see, so from Rama and Salvan and all of those kinds of things. So I'm interested to see that happen. But just a few bits of feedback from me on what needs to happen.
What do you think the thought process is behind launching these without the stabilizer edition?
So I actually asked Rohit why there was no stabilizer support there, and he said because it was difficult to machine 3 of the pillars in the same way that the center one was milled on the keycap. Now I don't understand that personally, but he said it's machining limitations, but he's going to revisit that with his manufacturer, so we'll have to wait and see how that changes. I don't, given the fact of what we can achieve in terms of some of the other tolerances on things like keyboards and other bits and pieces in the community already, I don't see why something that's quite large in terms of a stabilizer mounting point, that's pretty big in terms of the tolerances we can get today, where we go to thousands of an inch quite easily. I don't see why it should be an issue. But we'll have to wait and see what you can play.
Yeah. I think that without the stabilized option, it's kind of going to be a flop here. No pun intended.
It is.
I feel like this will just not be a successful group buy. But
it needs that. It does need it.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I sent a cherry profile keycap that I had the STL file for to my manufacturer who made the JO1 for me, and they said that they could machine one of those no problems at all. So I don't see why it's not in there, and if he's having those problems with his manufacturer, it might be time to speak to him.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully that gets changed, because otherwise it's potentially not a very usable keycap, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if he does change it, and then people like UPass run, and I can't remember who else has got one. I think it's Simon Black or Black Simon. They've got these ISO macro pads in the works. That would be perfect kind of key for that kind of macro pad and other group buy options. And for any ISO user as well, I think there'll be lots of people here in the UK and across the EU that would definitely pick these up if they had that support. So they do need to be does need to be addressed. But if they do address it, then I think it could be a winner. But that's what it's all going to be critical on, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's check out our next topic, which is actually our last topic on our news doc, which is a group buy for Dolch logo T-shirts by Mountain Blocks. Shout out to Mountain Blocks, who is a very avid user, avid user of Top Clack, avid watcher of Top Clack.
He's in chat today. I noticed you already donated some bits earlier on, so thank you very much for that, Mountain Blocks. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so we've kind of been slowly but surely seeing this push to get our community on apparel. So shirts, hoodies. I'm waiting on underwear. Come on, let's be real, guys. Give me the Dolch undies. But this is fun. I really like the pictures that he has here as well. looking pretty nice.
It's interesting. I really like this. I'm going to pick one up because it's $17 for all sizes, which is a great price to start off with. It's cheaper than a lot of other t-shirts. Lots of different options in terms of size and different bits and pieces. Only comes in one color though, which is this kind of graphite gray. But I think that works quite well for the Dolch.
Yeah,
logo.
It's fitting. It's fitting a theme, right? Yeah, it's fitting a theme. So that's totally fine. I really do like the $17 for all sizes because as someone that generally buys double XL shirts, I'm used to paying more for them. So happy to pay the same price as everyone else for once.
Yeah, absolutely. Goodbye looks really quick as well. Open until the 19th of May, so you've got another 10 or 11 days, depending on where you are in the world, to join that. And ships in June as well, so only a month wait before it ships. So I'm definitely going to join this.
Very quick turnaround, yeah.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. I'll proudly wear this on stream.
Yeah, it looks... I don't remember the exact blend or manufacturer of this particular blend, but this looks like some of the shirts that I have that are really, really comfortable. So I'm hoping it's like that.
Yeah.
I need some more comfy shirts. I'll probably buy one of these too, just because it's cheap enough to be like, what the hell?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's a great price for something like this. What I'd really like to see is one of those t-shirts with a pocket on, and have it on the pocket. That'd be really nice, like a little Dolch logo on top. I'd like that as well. But I'll definitely pick one of these. I think it looks great.
Yep, awesome. So once again, shout out to Mountain Blocks. Hopefully this goes well for you. Jay and I will be picking some up. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be nice if we could have these for Seattle, actually.
I wear my Talk Clack shirt to Seattle meetup. Sorry.
we don't worry, Brian. We can give out our Top Clack business cards at Seattle instead.
Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, we really have to finalize this refresh.
We do. Yeah, we do.
All right.
Okay.
Anyways,
so that's
our news doc. That's our news doc for today. So guys, we're gonna do a little bit of a sponsor spot as we normally do right now. So first up, we have Zeal Generation, which you can find at zealpc.net/topclack if you'd like to use our affiliate link. Gives us a little bit of a kickback, helps us out a lot when you buy anything from the Zeal store. He does have his usual array of things in stock, primarily centered around switches at the moment, where you can find whatever ails you. You need some linears, you need some tactiles, you need some silent linears, you need some silent tactiles, whatever, he's got you covered. And they are all quite lovely. He does still have a limited supply of the Sicurios and Roselios, which are both alternatives to the Helio switch, different color. And the Sicurios actually have a slightly lighter spring at 62 grams versus the normal 67 gram weighting. So make sure to get in on those and buy those up before they run out, which will probably be pretty darn soon if I had to guess. So yeah, guys, make sure, once again, use our affiliate link if you want to support Top Clack and you want to buy from Zeal Generation. So, zealpc.net/topclacks helps us out a lot.
Does. Okay, moving on then. Next up, we've got Novel Keys, the lovely Mike, who gave away all those gift subs earlier on in today's show. The first thing I want to call out today is he's got some new t-shirts that you can pick up, as well as some other paraphernalia. So these t-shirts look really, really good. There's a couple of different variants on there where you can have the logo over the over the top of your heart, because Novel Keys should always be close to your heart, which is a nice way of giving back to the community as well. So these look really nice. As well as that, there's also a more baseball themed top with the Novel Keys logo right across front and center in that lovely font, with the two-tone matching sleeves and grey and black top as well, which looks really, really good. And pleased to know that both of these come in both mine and your sizes as well, Brian, so something else for us to pick up as well. As well as that, if you want anything other paraphernalia, they've also got Novel Keys bottle openers and things like that, which are really great. I think you got one of these, didn't you, Brian?
Oh, I do! Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Yeah, this is adorable.
Yeah, why not have a bottle opener while you lubing some switches or something else?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously it's not keyboard related, but I am a man that likes to drink a lot of craft beers, and a lot of those come in bottles. So I can now I have a sweet. It's actually a very sturdy steel bottle opener. So I haven't used this yet because I haven't had anything out of a bottle in a while, but
I like how it's yet, because you plan to use it.
It'll certainly get some use from me. I trust me on that.
Excellent. Okay, as well as that, there's a couple of key sets as well that Novel Keys have got on there at the minute, which you guys should check out. The first one, if you're a Star Wars fan, is DSA Galactic Empire keycap set. Now, this is officially licensed by Star Wars and by Disney, who own the licensing for that. There's a couple of different versions that you can get. You can get the full Orabesh, or you can get the Orabesh with English legend as well. So it kind of makes sense for you to have the opportunity to pick and choose which one you want. PBT dye sublimated, so it's got all of those good quality colors on there that we're used to from Signature Plastics, and they're always a great product from there as well, so they last a long time. It's not something to wear off within 10 minutes of usage, so do check that out if you're interested. And then finally, the latest GMK group buy that is on Novel Keys is GMK Striker. So named after the Japanese football team and how well they did in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. This is Zambamon's set to kind of cherish those players and thank them for their the wonderful football ability or soccer ability. Yeah, it's a great set. It's a great price. It's only $100 for the core kit. You can also add numpad, 40s and split spacebar, and a couple of really, really cool Rama novelties as well. So if you're interested in those, feel free to pick them up. And finally, if you are going to shop with Novel Keys and with Mike, then don't forget to use our promo code, which this month is Clackers. That's CLACKERS, Clackers. And feel free to use it on any purchases for a small discount.
Yep. Next up, we have Input Club at Kono.store. All sorts of things, as usual. They have the group buy currently going for SA Granite. If you guys have been around the community for a while, you remember DSA Granite, one of the most popular key sets ever. Now over to the SA territory, starting at $70, which is pretty cheap if you ask me. And it gets you a decent amount of compatibility for that price. You can also check out SA Arcane, which is a group buy that tried to run in DSA, but wasn't very successful. But hoping the SA version is a little bit more successful, starting at $100 US. You can get SA Arcane, lots of different kits available as well, if that's more your thing. And of course, make sure we're still keeping our eyes on the Keystone series of keyboards here. So you guys should be as well. These are going to be featuring the new Silo line of switches from Input Club, which are the kind of analog Hall effect kind of system going on. Pretty epic stuff. We're hoping to get our hands on a prototype as soon as possible. I really want to try these switches, especially the beam spring version. So looking forward to those as well. And if you're in the market for a 96 key keyboard, that kind of particular layout, you can get the Kira keyboard. They are in stock right now, and the group buy for the Kira Stealth is up as well, which is that full metal version, so the stealthier looking keycaps.
Excellent. Okay, and rolling on to our final vendor and final sponsor for today, it is the wonderful KBDfans with Way at the helm. First thing I want to draw your attention to, guys, is one creative mind who I think is in chat today. I'm pretty sure I've seen his name floated around in chat, but his SA Leviathan set is in group buy currently. So if you guys are interested in a really good looking SA set, if you like those greens and those blues and that whole kind of Leviathan and Creatures of the Deep theme, feel free to go check that out. There is a ton of kits that you can pick up depending on what coverage you need, all which have pretty fair prices, as Brian and I covered on the show a couple of weeks ago. And finally, the really cool thing about this as well is if you want to buy all of those key sets, you can just hit the all button and buy now, and you can have every single kit added to your basket, which is a great feature and one we should see more often of as well, I think. But it's a really good set. I really like this as well, and fair play to having ISO in the render as well when creating.
Yeah, and ortho in the renders.
Yeah, and ortho. That never happens in a group buy. Yeah, really showing off what that could be looking like. As well as that, there's also EPBT Extended 2048, which is the Apple-inspired keycap set. That's also in group buy right now. But I think this runs out pretty quickly. I can't remember the end date. I'm just trying to look for it now. But it ends fairly soon, I think.
About 9 days left.
Weeks now. Yeah, about 9 days. Just over a week left. So if you guys are interested in this, if you like that whole Apple kind of theme, and that's something you're into, feel free to pick up this set or take a look at it. I really like the novelties in this one, and it's something I've already picked up myself. EPBT make great keycaps, and this is a really great stylistic choice too. And then finally, we're not sure if this should still be open or not, but it is if you are interested in it. And the KBD 8X Mark II is still open. It was supposed to shut 10 days ago, 12 days ago, something like that. But it's still open. So if you are interested in that, please feel free to check it out. It looks like a really good board. AIO3 designed this. It looks fantastic. There's a matching numpad as well, and there's a plethora of options available to you. You can pick multiple different colours for the top half and the bottom half, different materials as well. Polycarbonates available. Feel free to go check this out because I think it's going to be a sleeper hit this year.
It certainly is. Certainly is. All right, and now we are going to roll over to our Q&A segment, as usual. So if you guys have questions, we got your answers. Make sure you use the @TopClack tag in the chat so we can see the questions a lot easier. We greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. First of all, just a big shout out to Talisman Solution for gifting a tier 1 sub to One Creative Mind as well. Thank you very much for that, dude. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. One Creative Mind actually is going to start our Q&A off asking, when are you covering Night Runner? Want feedback on that desk pad. So Night Runner, I recall, is done by Blind Assassin, right? We talked about that in the Q&A segment last week.
Yeah. I think we missed it in last week's call of GMK sets because there were so many. But we, I'm pretty sure we covered it in the question and answer section at the end of the show last week.
Maybe should we add it to the news doc? Even though it's
we can add it. Why not?
We can add it to the news doc next week. Yeah, we're sorry. Like, we kind of touched on it when it got brought up in the Q&A last week, like Jay mentioned. But we can be a little bit more official about it. We'll add it to the news doc. It was a set that we had missed previously. Sometimes things just slip through and we can't cover everything that's going on right now, and we missed some things here and there. It happened. We apologize. Credit where credit's due. Blind Assassin. We thought it was a nice looking set, and we'll add it to the doc for next week. Sorry about our blunder there.
Yeah, I'm already adding a reminder onto our doc for us to pick that up. So that reminder is in there. I think that both Brian and mine's perspective on this one was that we kind of talked about the set very briefly in the Q&A section last week. If you want us to take another look at that, we've got it added to the doc for next week. So our apologies, our heartfelt apologies for that. We'll make sure we do it next week. And I think I've seen mention of a desk pad as well, so I'll take a look at that as well in the next couple of days, and we'll give you.
Holy questions rolling in, Batman.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You guys, all right. But I like it. I like just sitting around chilling with you guys, answering questions. This is often my favorite part of the show, yeah, because it feels a little bit more free and casual.
Yeah, just before we do run into some of the next questions that tagged, I know Mr. Petrov just asked me a few minutes ago whether I'm going to be supporting Liverpool or Tottenham, which are two UK soccer teams, or football teams as we call them here, which have got into the finals of a competition in Europe. I'm going to be rooting for Liverpool, purely because they're closer to me in distance than Tottenham is, so it's as simple as that. Interestingly enough, my father-in-law is a die-hard Tottenham supporter, so that's going to be a really interesting day when that happens. There you go.
All right, Tem Meeper, with our next question, just asking, how are you doing today, guys? Well, I'm doing better than I usually am.
Oh, wow.
I woke up feeling extra good today. Nice. While working on Top Clack before the show, I ordered some food and it actually arrived, which was the exact opposite of what happened last week before the show. So things are looking up. I'm really stoked for the stream tomorrow. The Kepler build, the Sirius build, all 3 giveaway boards. It's going to be a ridiculous stream. I'm really, really stoked for it. Hope you guys show up, and good luck to all of you that are going to be entering the giveaways. So I'm looking and feeling great right now. I just got back from the barbershop earlier with, after you get a haircut, a beard trim, whatever, like you feel good. You feel nice. More confident.
Looking
you feel
good,
sharper.
Feeling good. Yeah, I'm glad for you, man.
I'm gonna do something while Jay answers that. I'm gonna do something really unprofessional. I'm gonna go get some more water live on stream. So sorry about that, guys. I'll be back in like 10 seconds.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm doing well as well. This week it was my 1-year wedding anniversary. Me and the wife have been married for a whole year now. As you can see, there's the ring. So we went away for a spa week, and we spent 3 days at the last day of spa week. It was 3 days at the spa. where I had a series of treatments. We did the whole mud on bodies and go into the sauna for a couple of hours, and we rented out an infinity pool for a little bit, and we had multiple massages and stuff like that. It was fantastic, really relaxing. So I'm feeling on top of the world, even though it's nearly 4 a.m. I'm feeling great today. No work until Monday, so nice, relaxed, chilled out, and ready to go, to be honest with you. So yeah.
All right.
Looking up, next question is one for me as well, saying from Mechanisk, saying, Jay, when did you join the hobby? I've been in the hobby for about 2.5 years. The first thing I did that people probably know me for is the Hyper 7 board, which you can see on the side, which is just back here, which is version 2. Since then, I've been in the community doing my own streams towards the back end of last year, and then joined Top Clack this year.
Very nice. 10 Strong asking, regarding Mass Drop Holy Panda, how confident are you that those are new switches produced after the last fiasco, and how secure should I feel in planning a future build on the S75 around them? I have red Holy Pandas that I will likely use for my acrylic build unless the Mass Drop Holy Pandas don't deliver. I mean, I'm kind of in the same situation as you guys right now. Like, right? There's not like a whole lot else I can say. I mean, sure, Mastrap could be sending me, switches that aren't actually from the production run. I don't think they are. I'd like to believe that they're not. I have a couple friends that work at Mastrop, and I believe in them and I trust them. But I don't know the whole story. All I can do is, hope and pray and, say what I think about them. And I'm hopefully sure that these are production units. I don't know why they would just keep sending me other units. I mean, I guess as a large entity, as a corporation, as a business, it makes, it could make sense. It's kind of evil, but it makes sense from, wanting to make more money. I want to believe, and I'd like to believe, that they're not doing that. I like to believe that these are production Holy Panda samples that they actually sent me, and that's why it took so long. And that's all I can really say, guys. I don't have a 100% foolproof way to prove anything. I wasn't at the factory when they were injecting the molds and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. So all I can do is give you the information that I have, which is what I've already done.
I think we have to take a lot on faith in this community. That's what the community is good at, is taking things on faith. If that's what Mastrop is saying they're sent to Brian, then we should take that at face value, and there's it's what we should believe. There is very little point in them lying to Brian to try and convince people that everything's okay and then ship out an inferior product in a month or 2 months' time whenever it's due to ship. It's kind of disingenuous to do that, so we should absolutely take them at face value as with you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if they keep sending me like samples or whatever, and it's not indicative of the actual production run, and they ship out something that's not the real product, think about the backlash they're gonna get. They're gonna get creamed by the community, like absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, it's disingenuous to a fault. There is absolutely no reason for them to do that. They would be better off owning up to it now and saying, do you know what, it's not right. So there's no reason for us not to trust them.
Yeah, drop. I think everyone's struggling to make that transition. But yeah, long story short, I have no 100% way to prove these are the real units, but I'm going to assume they are, because I really don't think Mastrop is trying to screw me or the community on this one in particular. So
agreed.
That's my stance on it right now. As far as how they feel like a Holy Panda, guys.
Yeah, it is what it says. Yeah.
Yep. Chewy asking, by the way, welcome Chewy. Shout out to you and Mex on Deck, the podcast you guys should all check out. Chewy is one of the hosts of that show, and it's doing fairly well. I've actually been watching every episode, been liking it.
Good, yeah.
He's asking you, are you bummed about the T1?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a difficult situation, and it's one that's hard for Brian and I to take a stance on at the minute because we just don't know what we don't know. But there has to be a reason why Wei is no longer supporting the factory that made the T1 switches, and he's not going to be stocking them any longer. That being said, they were a really good switch at that price point, especially once they'd ironed out the premature actuation issues. I've got them in a couple of boards. I have got a series of switches. It's probably not appropriate for me to use them on stream at the minute, given the kind of discussions going on in the community. But yeah, it's always sad when we lose a good product from the marketplace. but I'm sure something else will replace it at some point in the near future. There's always opportunities and always more new competition coming into the market as well. So we've seen in the past couple of months that there's been an absolute ton of new switches coming out, the inks and the yocks and everything else that we've seen. So I don't think we'll be waiting around for another budget tactile switch that's really good for too much longer.
Yeah, and I've said it publicly a few times. I think the T1 is a fine switch. I've had some. I've used some. I think it's fine. I think it's just a cut down Zealio. Personally, though, I think the Zealio Zealio is smoother. It's slightly more tactile. The tactility feels a little bit crisper, a little bit smoother, a little bit rounder. I like that. And in particular, the Zealios actually feel a lot more tight. They feel a lot more stable, less wobbly, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I think the T1s are fine, but I think if you want that style of switch, the Zealio just makes more sense. But that's just kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
The Raging Agent asking, have I received my Leaf 60 tracking yet? Yes, I actually received it today. I received my tracking today. It's through DHL, who always texts you or whatever. And the estimated date delivery is tomorrow, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. That's pretty quick.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll come in before the stream. Not that it really matters, because I'm not going to be streaming the Leaf for like a couple weeks anyway. I have like so many. I have like several other build streams lined up already, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's unusual for you to have so many build streams.
It's really uncommon, yeah. So looking forward to a lot of build stream content from yours truly, ya boy, if that's up your alley. Blind Assassin saying, you never showed it though. He's referring to the Night Runner, I believe is what it was called, the set he has designed. We'll add it next time, guys. We'll add it next time, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it will be the first key set we cover next week, promise, guys. It's already on the news doc for next week. I've got a big red wall of text that says add this to the document as soon as we can, so we'll get that in there, don't worry.
Yep. Mr. Petrov asking, will you be using the gloves to build Kepler? So he actually he did send me some gloves to wear while building it. I have big hands. If the gloves fit me, I will use them. If they do not fit me, I will not use them. So pretty simple. Dixie Mac asking, y'all see that SA Magic City has been resurrected? Was that ever dead? That's like a relatively.
That was going on. Yeah,
that was a relatively newer set. That's not one from like a couple years ago, is it?
No, it's fairly recent. I'm pretty sure we covered it on the show while I've been on here, so I think it's
it's not that old.
Months. I didn't realise that you thought it was dead, Dixie. But if it's back up, well, we'll cover it when it goes into group buy.
Yep. Slippery Pete ED forgets to tag us, but he does ask, how do we submit topics for discussion? GMK Smile, for instance. So generally the way we gather news is we just do it from all the public forums. Like we go on to Reddit, and we go on to Geekhack and Keep Talk and everywhere else, and we look to see what is there, and we pretty much just add as much of it as we can. Unless it looks like really unpromising, then we might not add it. Sometimes we miss things, like I had said earlier. Smile, I don't even remember seeing anywhere, so I probably just missed it entirely. Everyone's always free to PM us if you want something on the news doc. We may or may not put it on there. But generally speaking, if there's like even a shred of potential, it's something we'll add. Although, as we've seen in the last several episodes, moving forward in the community, we're getting a lot more news. There's a lot more people in the community, a lot more people doing more things. Key sets in particular, like we had like 15 or 17 GMK interest checks on last week's episode. And obviously we can't do that forever. We can't just go through everything that's posted always. That's just not going to happen. We are going to have to get a little bit more selective as time goes on with our news topics. So just keep that in mind, guys. So we're probably going to just try to up when things have a higher chance of succeeding, when they have a higher level of potential, those are the topics we're going to be adding more of. We're going to stop adding quite as many of the, here's this random interest check set or whatever.
Yeah. I think the other thing to bear in mind as well is that us not covering it doesn't mean it's a slight against the set, or that we dislike the set or anything like that, or the product. It's very much a case of there's just that much news that we can't cover everything. I mean, we did nearly 3 hours last week. We're at 2 hours already this week on this week's show. It's not this isn't a show that we can have running for 4 hours every week, because people wouldn't watch it, and we'd be exhausted by the time we do it. I mean, it's nearly 4 a.m. in the morning for me, so to cover 5, 6, 7 more sets, we'd still be talking about GMK sets now. It's not always going to be possible. So as Brian said, we probably will be more selective going forwards. We're trying to cover everything at the minute, but there's just so much out there that it's easy for us to lose track of and lose sight of some of the industry, especially when there's so many GMK sets. I mean, if you just search GMK now on Keycap, you're lucky to find anything that you're looking for, because there's just so many sets out. But if you do want something adding to the dock specifically, ping myself or Brian, and we'll make sure it's added onto there directly.
Yep, absolutely. Geo asking seconds/minutes/hours/days for Kepler to reach 50. So Kepler is capped at 50 units, last I checked. So basically, how long will it take to sell out of those 50 units?
Is that 50 including the one that we're giving away?
I imagine so. Or maybe you'll just order one extra unit.
Spots, yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard to just add another unit or two if needed.
No. I was being sad on it with that, but I reckon it'll be done within 24 hours. I think somewhere within that first 24 hours.
I was thinking 24 hours as well. It's hard to say, right? Because part of me is like, it's a really epic high-end keyboard, and it costs a lot because of that.
Yeah.
They didn't cut corners. They were going into this with a balls to the wall idea that it would feature a ridiculous amount of stuff, and it would be overly designed, overly engineered, and just be epically awesome. And the price tag matches that. It's going to be about $850, which is it's expensive for a keyboard. But then the other part of me is like, well, people were clamoring at the bit to spend $875 or whatever it was, $885 on the number 2 stainless edition. And, people are paying like $2,000 on the aftermarket for these now. So I'm like, well, apparently people can buy $850 keyboards these days.
Yeah,
so,
it happens, right, guys? The community's changing. What was seen as the kind of upper tier of price ranges 12 months ago is probably being exceeded now, and that ceiling doesn't exist anymore. It's now higher than it ever was. And the bigger the community gets, the higher that ceiling is going to go. But it does allow us to get, these really amazing products like Kepler, which has got such a wonderful mounting system. It's got LEMO connectors built into the board. It's got that great brass base. It's a fantastic bit of kit, and the price reflects that. It's expensive to manufacture. It's expensive to produce. It's got a lot of parts included within it.
It comes with a Pelican case.
Well, exactly. Yeah. What more could you really want? It comes in a Pelican hard case. This isn't like a TX bag, which is pretty good as it is. This is a specific, really tough, hardened case. I actually use a Pelican case for traveling to meetups with my boards and stuff like that. So it is really interesting to see that.
Yeah, but I think it could easily be 24 hours. A part of me wants to say it'll take about a week, but part of me wants to say like 12 hours. I feel like it literally could go any way.
That's why I'm saying within 24 hours, because that way if it's in the first day, I'm kind of right, and it's only if it's longer than 24 hours that I'm wrong. So yeah, within 24 hours, I think we'll definitely sell out at 50. I'm probably going to get one, I'll be honest. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but we'll be able to know very soon, because that group buy opens tomorrow during the Top Clack build stream of it. So
no, Mylock, I'll fall asleep during the stream. I'll be completely wrong on it taking 24 hours, because the stream starts at 2 a.m. for me, and it'll finish about 6 a.m. for me. I'll be hard and fast asleep, and then the board will sell out in 20 minutes, and I'll wake up at 10 o'clock, and I'll have lost my chance. That's probably what's going to happen, guys.
Yeah. Yep. We won't know. We won't know until it actually happens. But
let's wait and see.
Yeah, I think it is first come first serve as well. So that could fill up really quick.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Tameeper
Next question.
Asking, have you all heard anything about the pink punchy group buy with the 200-person MOQ coming out of China? Is that the one that Okonomiyaki's doing?
It is, yeah. So I think the recolored Gatoron switches with punchy springs, if I remember rightly. As far as I know, it's still happening. Although one of the interesting things that's been said today about the whole KBDfans and Gateron and Zeal kind of topic is that Gateron are no longer going to do custom coloured switches, which is kind of interesting why they've said that. But
is that public info?
It was in the Discord server. That I haven't heard it from any unknown source. I heard it from the Discord when someone asked Okinokiyama if that was going to affect her switches or not. That's where I saw it. So I don't know how that's going to affect things. So I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, Luder-sama asking, do you think the market will be oversaturated with GMK eventually? I think it's already oversaturated with GMK.
I think in terms of interest checks, I would agree. In terms of actual products, the only time it's oversaturated is if things aren't hitting, MOQ in group buy. So when that starts to happen, that's when we'll know it's oversaturated in terms of actual produced products and in terms of actual physical keys.
That's true. It's kind of like however many GMK sets we're running doesn't really affect how long it takes to make a set in terms of like GMK's viewpoint. So like we're still getting sets as fast as GMK can get them to us, and we have been for a while now.
Yeah.
So it's just more and more. Asla Joe is asking, how can you be up at this time? Do you have a quote-unquote real job?
I assume that wasn't aimed at me. Yeah, I do have a real job. I'm on holiday this week. I've got the whole week off, which is really nice. But usually when I'm at work, I only work every other Friday. So it's only once every 2 weeks when staying up to this time really affects me. But yeah, I'm a senior program manager / product owner for a large financial company. So yeah, I do have a day job that I do. And I'll be honest, on those days where I am working on the Fridays, it does kill me going to bed at 5 o'clock and getting up at 7 o'clock. But you got to do what you got to do for your hobbies. I definitely don't see working on Top Clack as a job. It's definitely a hobby for me.
Yeah, until it pays a lot more, it's not a job.
Yeah. If I did this as my only income, then I'd see it as a job. But it doesn't come anywhere close to that. So it's definitely still in hobby funds at the minute.
One creative mind asking a question to you, Jay, as well. Did you ever put Ferris on a Hyper 7?
I did, yes. You can't see it, but there is another Hyper 7 kit up here, the original prototype of the board that does have the SA Ferris on it. If you want to see a picture of that, I'll post one on the Top Clack Discord tomorrow and tag you.
Nice. Blind Assassin, following up about our Night Runner mishap, saying, I want to make sure I just want to have it on so we can get it shown and get feedback. No hate for missing it. Just hurts the feels a little bit. Hope you all have a great night. Yeah,
thanks, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll add a news doc next week. We got it. It's gonna be good stuff. Thanks for doing the set. But yeah, sometimes we miss stuff. It's not intentional. It's not aimed at anyone. It's just the way it works. We are far from perfect.
Absolutely, we are fallible. It's we will miss things over time.
Zacharias, great question.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. So lubing is becoming a lot more prevalent. Do you think this is going to make more or less lubing services listed on Mecha Market? It's an interesting one because I think the bigger the community gets, the more we see people wanting to do build streams or to actually solder boards for other people. And I think that a lot of those people are getting significant numbers of requests. I don't know how it is for you, Brian, but I must turn down quite a few each week. Well into double figures each week when people ask me if I can build their board on stream, and I just don't have the time to do them.
Yeah.
So I suspect that lubing switches is going to be the next kind of opportunity. That I know Straight Classes lube's got a lot of switches for you recently. I had the opportunity to try out some switches lubed by Remsky the other week, which I was really impressed with. So yeah, I suspect those kind of services will increase.
Yeah, and we've already seen it even on just like the Top Clack Discord Mech Market channel. There's lots of people offering lube services lately at pretty competitive prices. A lot of people even doing it for free sometimes. So people out there, they're just learning how to lube switches. They're just getting that experience. There's always a market for labor that other people don't want to do. And lube switches are certainly a commodity, but not a lot of people want to put the effort into actually lubing the switches themselves. They're afraid they're going to make a mistake. They just don't have the time, like a lot of people. I've been lubing switches for years. I'm very comfortable with it. I'm very confident in it. But I've been outsourcing all of my lubing job lately just because I don't have time for it. I don't have time to lube 1,000 switches, like, every month or two. Like, I just don't. So, I'm kind of just poking around to other people and having them do some lube work for me and, gathering some feedback on that and trying to find people that do what I like and, can work out in a good way. And like Jay had mentioned, I just got some back from a user, Straight Classy, and I'm pretty happy with. I'm really happy with how the creams came out. I'm relatively happy with how the inks came out. If I'm being honest, I think you could have a little bit of thinner coat on the inks, but I'm kind of particular. I'm very critical on how my switches are lubed, so that it's just unfortunate for other people because I am that person. But all things said and done, he did a good job, and his price was incredibly low. So 0 complaints from me there. But yeah, as far as the question goes, lots of lubing services, definitely. Lagalandia saying that cut looks hot. That cut.
Nice, it does.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you very much. I was like, what are we talking about? Thank you. Yeah, I try to clean up a little bit every now and then.
Nice. More. I don't know how I'm pronouncing that. Hahackmore says, will the stream be uploaded to PodBean? Last week's wasn't uploaded. Oh, did we miss it last week?
Oh crap! I forgot to do it. Yeah, usually Sushi does it. Whoops. I'll get that up tonight. The AOD will go for last week tonight and for tonight's episode as well. I was a little bit behind on that. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't like a lot of people. Most people don't realize that we still do an AOD version. It's usually just kind of uploaded like afterwards, but usually when it's not uploaded, people just are like, "Where is it?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing."
Yeah, that happens. Corbin Dallas, fun question for you guys. Can you pronounce the city name? Do you want to have a go at this first, Brian, and then I'll have a go.
Is this a real city?
It is, yeah. It's a city in Wales, or a town in Wales, but it's a real place name, yeah.
I'm not going to even try. That's silly. I'm sorry.
Shall I have a go? Okay.
Go ahead.
So Clan via Puckle Gwyn Gochel Gogo Uchlin Drob Uchel Clan T Cilio Go. There you go.
That seemed fairly legit.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's not a million miles away. It's a fairly well-known place name in the UK. It's that's from memory. That's broadly how it is. Yeah, but my Welsh is rusty. I'll be honest.
Your Welsh is rusty. Does that mean
Yeah.
you used to be fluent in Welsh?
No, I could speak it a little bit more than I can now at one point. But yeah. There we go.
Paizo Electro asking, Jay, who do you think will win it in Spain this weekend?
McLaren 1-2. Not McLaren, Mercedes 1-2, sorry.
Oh man, Discord's eating the chat, so we actually have to speed things up a little bit. Petrov asking, did you get a happy finish ever at the spa?
Not with the people I was paying. Let's put it that way.
Geo asking, how do you feel about the mass abandon of PayPal? What's going on with PayPal?
So this is interesting. So, PayPal have recently introduced a thing where if you're a vendor and you refund a payment, you don't get the fees back anymore that you used to get. So previously, if someone bought something on your store, then you would get the payment through, but you would pay a fee on that as a vendor. So say it was $100, you might pay $5 as a fee, and then you get $95 what the item was. I'm making the numbers easy for doing the math purposes, but it was something broadly like that. And what used to happen is if you refunded that payment, so that $100 back to that person, so say, Brian, if you bought something from me, I would get $100 and $95 would go to me and $5 would go to PayPal. If I refunded that payment to you, you would get the $100 back, and that $5 payment would go back as well as the $95. What's happening now is if you bought something for $100, PayPal would get their $5, I get the $95. But then if I refunded you, I would have to pay the $95 and the $5, and PayPal would still keep their $5.
Interesting.
So with that in mind, both Right on the Bay and UPass have declared that they may step away from using PayPal because they don't want to have to deal with that whole challenge around refunds.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as someone like myself, or probably even you, we very, very rarely deal with PayPal refunds. I've only ever had to do like one or two in this community, I feel like. So I'm not really sure, but I imagine as a vendor that could be very big to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially on an $800 board like Kepler, you know. And, I don't know what the percentage is, 4.4%, something like that for PayPal. So
Yeah.
you know, you're talking $35, $40, or whatever the math is for that kind of refund. If 5 people refund, that's quite a chunk of change that you're going to lose out as a business. So
yeah, we're gonna speed up a little bit more because Twitch eats anything that's more than 15 minutes old.
15 minutes old. Yeah.
So
okay.
Talisman asking, will you be producing a program guide of sorts for the 24-hour stream so we can be sure not to miss our favorite segments? Yes, there will be a live public schedule. Guaranteed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have we already commented on the KBDfans Telio fiasco? Yeah, we touched on it last week, and we touched on it a little bit towards the beginning of the show this week.
Yeah,
Bear Antler asking, where do people get those nice artisans that are very limited in quantity? Do they just post them on Mech Market? A lot of them are through public or private trades. Yeah. What a lot of people will do, whether you think it's right or wrong or good or bad, what a lot of people will do is they'll just enter basically every artisan raffle from popular artisans, and whatever even if it's something they don't really care for that much, they can use it as trading fodder for other things they might like more.
Yeah,
that was kind of how it worked when I was really into artisans. I'm not really into them as much anymore. But
it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I mean the trick to getting the artisans that you want is to be in the buy opportunity when they come around. So watching Mech Market, watching the main Discord server, and joining the artisan channel on the Top Pack server. You'll get notifications when those sales go live, and you can join them and hopefully win a number of caps over time, which then gives you opportunities to trade or sell on caps to try and get the ones that you really want.
Yep, exactly. Mr. Petrov asking, did you guys see the colored pink and yellow Palm prototype pictures of 2 leaf boards? They looked awesome. Not seen a colored Palm key before. The Palm leaf?
Yeah, so it's a Leaf 60, and one was in... I only saw the yellow one, I didn't see the pink one. I didn't open the album, but there was a yellow version of it CNC milled from yellow POM, so very similar to how the Sirius is milled from POM. Okay. This was a Leaf 60 done in the same style, but it was done in a bright yellow, almost kind of a Sirica matching yellow. So it looked really good. Interested to see how multiple different colours of POM and polycarbonate and things like that go in the community. But I'm absolutely all for seeing it. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. I'm always down for new materials, which is why something like the Sirius is so interesting to me, because we've never really had like full palm boards before. It's a pretty unique thing.
Yeah, I can't wait to try and pick one up off of 159.
Yeah.
Mr. Petrov saying, Top Clack, I meant the love glove. I'm not going to comment on that. Blammy Boy says, do you or anyone in chat happen to know what key that is in the first render of GMK Merlin? And he provides a link, which isn't opening on my computer for some reason.
It is on mine. I'm not 100% sure what this is, though.
Oh, it's loaded up now. It looks like a tofu with really thick bezels.
Is it a Tina?
No, I don't think so. No, the Tina's got the fins on it
at the bottom, but you couldn't. I don't think you can see the fins from the top.
I feel like the Tina's a lot thinner in terms of the bezel as well. I actually don't know what that is.
I'm not sure either. Also, being a render, this may not be a real board.
Yeah.
By the way, so some people totally do that. I'm not sure. Maybe someone in chat has a better idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. It's not a board that I've seen in real life, I don't think. It almost looks like the Zephyr from the top, but it's not, because it's not sent to USB. Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
it's a 60.
Yeah, it's 60, not 65. I genuinely don't know what it is. Genuinely don't know.
Yeah, maybe we could ask Merlin.
Yeah, we'll ask Mech Merlin in the Discord, whoever raised it. Blammy Boy, I think it was.
Nebulant saying, for all the sets, only put a selection on the show, the rest compiled on a website. So he's talking about lots of news topics on the show. Yeah, that could be an option. We're always gonna. Sometimes we're gonna miss stuff. That's just kind of the way it works. But we try not to.
Yeah.
Blue Note subs Twitch Prime 9 months in a row. Thank you very much for that.
Nice. Mr. Petrov says, I'm getting 2, the one I buy and the one I win on Top Pack tomorrow. I assume he's talking about the Kepler there.
I hate when people publicly say stuff like that, because if they do win, like, via RNG, then people are just going to be like, oh, it was rigged. And I'm just like, what do you want me to do? I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove the RNG live on stream. There's no more I can do.
Yeah, I know. 159 says fixed ISO, you have to get it. If it's got a fixed ISO, I will buy it, more than likely, if I can afford it. The thing is, I have to save for tickets to come to Seattle as well, so that's the other thing. But yeah.
Alright. Moving on, I think we're getting closer. We're getting closer, guys. A lot of questions today. Yeah, we're almost there, though.
Yeah. One creative mind saying the Hyper 7 pick would be good. Yeah, I'll post it up tomorrow at some point. Not a problem at all.
Blind Assassin, says to touch on the PayPal issue a bit more. For small group buys that don't reach MOQ and have to be refunded, this can cause people to lose money, which is pretty bad. Wow, yeah, that's totally true. A group buy that doesn't actually go through, that people have already paid for, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah, that would be really bad.
Wow. I wonder if people are going to swap to something then. Is there like another service, or people are just going to use credit card or whatever?
Apple Pay, Google Pay, and credit card were the options that Riot and UPass suggested. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I mean, I'm fine with anything. The challenge from an international point of view, from a country that doesn't use the US dollar as a currency, is that if I pay for something on my credit card, I pay a significant fee for paying in the incorrect currency that my card's based in, because my card's obviously based in GBP. I think it's something like £10 or £12, which is about $15. So I have to pay that as a fee to convert from one currency to the other, or to buy something in another currency. Whereas I don't have to do that with PayPal, because I can just load up my PayPal account with the balance first, and then it's converted into whatever currency I want for a smaller fee. So that is one slight worry with it, but if it's better for the community to move, then I'm all for it, yeah.
Yeah. Tal has been saying, by the way, Tiny is streaming a keyboard build live for raid possibilities. Yeah, we actually auto host her, but yeah, we can raid her too once the stream's over.
We should do. Yeah. We should do. Yeah.
Tiny is good people. Blamey Boy saying it looks like a lot of stuff, but I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I think it's not real. Okay, referring to that 60% that we were talking about.
Yep.
And that's it. We are caught up on questions. We'll give it just another minute or so, just any last minute questions. If you guys have any last minute questions before we head out, get them in now. Otherwise, we're gonna go do stuff. We're gonna go get productive. Well, I'm gonna get productive. Jay's probably gonna go to bed.
I'm gonna go sleep. Yeah. Joe, you say it's not the CSC, it's not the credit card conversion rate. It's the fee for using the credit card in an incorrect currency. That's the trick. So it depends on your credit card. It depends on how it's set up in terms of stuff like that. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's interesting.
Nebula asking, who can I beat up at Seattle? Jay.
Well, you can try. He can try. I mean, it's not going to happen, but you can try.
Jay's a little scrapper. Blue Note asking, so Jay is confirmed for Seattle meetup?
Not yet, because I haven't bought the tickets. Once I've bought the tickets, I will announce it. But I plan to buy the tickets in about 10 days' time. So in a couple of weeks' time on stream, I will confirm that I have the tickets, and then I'm definitely coming.
Yep.
But it's pretty close to happening. Yeah.
I'm not going to say the next username, just because I don't like saying the F word live on stream. But the next question is, you guys getting HP samples? Yes, I have them. I've showed them off and talked about them, I think, twice on this stream already. Long story short is, they feel like holy pandas. Blammy Boy donates 100 bits, says thank you for the great episode. Thank you so much. This is a good episode today. I feel good about it.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, same. Yeah.
I feel good about it. I feel good. Geo asking, I might buy my tickets tomorrow. Should I aim for Thursday? Maybe. I mean, you're coming in. I don't know. If you want to come in Thursday, then yeah, aim for Thursday.
I'm likely to have to travel for a week and be there for a whole week because otherwise it's just going to be incredibly expensive for me if I just do it for 2 days, and I'm going to be exhausted as well. So I'm likely to be there for a week, or maybe 5 days, something like that. We just see depending on what's cheapest to book flight wise. But I think if I'm going to do it, I'll probably be there on the Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. Blind Assassin, or sorry, PMS and Chicken subs Twitch Prime for 14 months. Says hi. Thank you so much, and hi to you as well. Blind Assassin is asking, are you going to use the lights more often in streams? They make your camera look much better. I can, if you guys actually like that. Yeah, I don't usually use them, but if it actually works, I can probably tweak around and try to set it up a little bit better. I use them for build streams like every time. It's like I have a light on each side of me that has just like a boom like arm. They just kind of like come down. So yeah, I can try more of that on the main show as well. Pluto asking, don't think you guys saw it, but Merlin's first render is of Lewis's 60%. Really? Okay, I did not know that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And I think that's probably our cue to head out as well. So.
Yeah.
Thank you all for hanging out with us today. Hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Of course, we will be back next week, same time, same place, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time for our main show. I will be doing a really epic build stream tomorrow. I'll be doing the Kepler build as well as the Sirius build. Both those will be given away. Well, group by spots will be given away for the Kepler and 2 for the Sirius. So 3 epic boards to be given away tomorrow, guys. They will be given away live on stream. You will have to be there to win. So keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a good stream.
Yep, 5 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. That's when the stream will start. You'll see me there. You'll be notified if you're in our Discord, our official Discord, which is linked below as well, conveniently. You can also check out our YouTube channel down below. You can check out, check out all the things. Just check us out. Check it out now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, any closing thoughts, Jay, for today's episode?
No, other than that, I'm looking forward to the Kepler build stream tomorrow. I'm going to try and stay awake all night for that one. 2 nights on the trot where I'm not going to spend any time with my wife, but that'll be fine because it's worth it. And then I'll be doing my build stream on Sunday as well. This week we've got the Anzi, which has got a bit of a special unboxing. I'm not allowed to open the box, apparently, according to the maker, until I've got it on stream. So I have no idea what I've got in there or what's in the box, but it's a really nice looking box. I'm excited to do that as well. And that'll be on Sunday at the usual time, which is 8 p.m. my time, 12 noon if you're on the Pacific Coast, and 3 p.m. if you're on the East Coast.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. I'm gonna raid Tiny. I'm gonna make sure I do this right. I don't raid very often, so I think I'm doing this right.
Let's do that. Let's raid Tiny.
Slash raid Tiny. Let's get ready for a little bit of a raid, guys. We're gonna go in and we're gonna compliment her because that's what Top Clack does when we raid. We're gonna talk about how nice her hair is. All right. We should be officially offline in